Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, small law firm in central Minnesota. And with me today, if she's back, is my co-host, Sriracha, as we read through this absolute magnificent masterpiece of a love letter. Sriracha, are you with me? Sort of with me. She's almost here. She's almost here.
I'm back.
Welcome back. I just introduced you.
Oh, great. Hello,
So,
everybody. My name's Sarancha, and for everybody who's wondering, Russell, if you're watching this, I am now disabled because I very recently fell in a ditch and broke my foot. So I don't want to hear anybody saying that they're making fun of disabled people because I too am disabled.
that I was gonna say that's fantastic, but that's actually awful that you broke your foot.
Russell will never understand my plights.
No, I don't think he will because from what I understand, he's never broken his foot. So
I don't
what's he
think
even
so.
yeah, what's he even talking about? What's this guy complaining about?
We got another really long chapter for you guys today. If you missed out last time, we had left off. Russell was trying to find a lawyer to represent him in his motion to sue Taylor Swift to no avail.
Yes, and yes. I don't know how. What else do you say? What else do you say to what Russell has done here? But
Like Mary and Joseph could not find an inn on
yeah.
Christmas Eve, Russell could not find a lawyer to take his case.
So he did what they obviously do, and he went to the stable and found the dumbest horse, and it was himself. It was a mirror that he brought with him.
And in the stable, he found an ass, and that ass was a mirror.
Well, you said it. You said it. Okay, real quick, guys. Let's get the legal disclaimer out of the way. This is not a good way to acquire Russell Greer's book. A good way to acquire Russell Greer's book is however you get it from him. This is a way to get some commentary and hopefully some funny jokes, making fun of, I think what I will say is an objectively horrible human being that has taken over all of our hearts. So this is intended to be fair use, and it is presented entirely as such. Go if you want to read Russell's book in full. Go check out go get it from wherever he distribute. I don't even know how he distributes it anymore, but go do that. Go do that. And then if you want to interact with us in the best way, for me, the best way for me is through either the super chats or if you go down in the description and you click on the Justice Chat link, it will allow you to send a chat through PayPal, and YouTube gets less money, which is more fun for all of us. So those will all be read as they come in. Otherwise, reading of the chat is sporadic and not guaranteed. We make no warranties, promises, or other assurances about anything said in the chat. Also, we're not responsible for any of it, so screw you all. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Screw you all was to YouTube, by the way. Yeah, so why don't we let's dive into this thing. I've got it. I've got us leaving off on page 105, and I can only assume we finished the paragraph at the top of the page. I think that's the safe assumption.
Yes, and for anybody who was not tuned in the last stream, we are in the middle of a dream sequence, I believe, in which Russell has narrowly escaped Taylor Swift's agents who were firing bullets at him
Yes.
with guns, which seems like a bit of an overreaction to me because I don't think Taylor is armed, but we'll find out soon.
Well, and remember that this is Russell's own dream, and in his own dream, he is unable to arm himself as sufficiently as Taylor Swift's guards have armed themselves in his dream.
He was denied his Second Amendment rights just like he was denied his rights to his fourth cranial muscle.
And he's also denied, I think so far, he's been denied his Ninth Amendment right to sexual intercourse with Taylor Swift.
Is
That's
that the
it.
Ninth Amendment?
Well, it says all other rights not prescribed herein. So that's got to be in there. At least I assume that would be his argument.
But doesn't that mean that the state has the right to have sex with Taylor Swift?
No. That's
Not you.
that'd be the all reserved or all rights not reserved to the states rest with the people. And so I don't know,
Oh,
unless a state has passed a law that a state has a right to have sex with Taylor Swift, then I guess they would take it over at that point, or there'd be at least a conflict. Then Russell would be suing a state for that.
well, let me tell you, I just paid my quarterly tax. If any state is fucking Taylor Swift, it's New York.
Touche.
All right, let's go.
Yes.
Would you like to start us off?
Sure. It was like I was in an action movie. I scaled and ran on top of the walls, making it towards the tower that Taylor Swift was in. Different bros and dudes and bosses came at me. I fought them off, knocking some off the walls. A few of Taylor's ripped background dancers ran at me, doing somersaults and cartwheels. He seems very enamored with the physiques of all these men.
Yeah.
One dancer...
Something you're not telling us, Russell.
One dancer tried tripping me with his breakdancing moves. He's doing some capoeira in his dream sequence here. I just jumped over him as he continued to flop around on the floor like a fish. Oh, so this is a white breakdancer.
Of course, yes.
As if I was following a GPS in my head, I ran directly up to the stairs leading to the tower that Taylor was in. I hate to keep busting in, but that's got to be the GPS in his heart, not in his head.
I believe that is verbatim how my 8th grade science teacher described bird migration. Because I have a very specific memory of someone asking, how do they know where to go? And the teacher saying, oh, they have a GPS in their heads.
Hopefully it's not using Apple Maps, because the birds would be going all over the wrong place. I ran directly up the stairs leading to the tower that Taylor was in, and I busted down the wooden door, knocking it off its hinges. Taylor dropped her guitar, startled.
Do you think it's lips time, or
It is early, but
it's early?
But it's late in the chapter. I think I'll do it. I can.
Okay.
Okay.
You play Russell, I'll be Taylor Swift.
Sounds good. I can do that for you. Taylor, toss me your hair, I shouted majestically.
Huh? I replied.
Nah, just joking, I teased, as I was making a Rapunzel joke, in case you didn't know. With a serious look, I straightened my messy hair and wiped the blood from my nose. The sheet music was still in my hand, not damaged at all. I made my way towards Taylor Swift. The good book says, by their fruits ye shall know them. Taylor, this is my fruit right here.
That's what the guy that flashed me on the subway last week said to me. Too.
This is my fruit right here. I know you've had a rough few years, but you don't need to worry anymore. I'm not gonna hurt you. This proves that I care about you.
Taylor's face. You alright?
Oh. Gross.
Taylor's face became overjoyed. Widely, I opened my arms, and Taylor ran at me in slow motion with her arms open. Epic orchestral music began to play. Even though she was taller than me by a few inches, I'm 5'8", and she's 5'11", she jumped into my arms, and we began to make out. Not a date. This is not a date. Russell has never fantasized about going on a date with Taylor Swift. And frankly, anybody that says that sex or dating is a motive for this lawsuit, frankly, it's disgusting because Muscle's a pure Mormon boy. Anyway, we began to make out. Her legs wrapped around me as I held her in my arms. Trust me, even though my face is paralyzed, I'm one of the... Ew.
Oh, God.
Ew.
Oh,
gross.
She'd be kissing his teeth. Oh my gosh.
I forgot about that line. I imagine it's like kissing Russell is like kissing two very large noodles.
Oh.
I'm one of the best kissers you'll ever meet. My hands rubbed up and down her back. She played with my brown hair, curling it with her fingers. There's your nightmare for the night, folks. The music suddenly changed into a blaring alarm. Taylor and I both looked at the surround sound system as we grimaced. I was imagining us in some kind of 17th century castle Where's the surround system?
This is a modernized tower.
Oh, gotcha. It is Taylor Swift. Taylor and I both looked at the surround sound system as we grimaced. We looked at each other, and then the dream ended. I woke and swore at my phone. I'm going to hook my finger in my jaw. I'm not wearing any good shirts, so it's fine. I was getting to the last part, I shouted as I turned off the alarm.
That was one of the... That may be the worst paragraph in the book so far. Like that. This is absolutely repulsive.
I forgot about that line. What do you think making out with partner feels like, Nick?
Like you'd be consistently just kissing the inside of his lips, I guess. Oh gosh, it'd be disgusting.
Imagine it would be like fooling around in your mouth, like tossing with your tongue a brick of wet Jello.
Oh, okay. I got... God, that's awful. I hate Jello already, and now I hate it even more.
Well, then you're gonna hate Russell Greer's lips.
Yeah.
All over you.
I got 2 chats to read. I forgot to read the first one that was sent about 10 minutes ago, and then there's another couple that came through. Cormoran says, I finally saw a porno with a woman using those Greer lips. You've not laughed until you've seen a woman try and fail to suck a D with them on. I mean, aside from my, for pure research purposes, I would almost ask you to drop the link in the chat, but please don't. That sounds horrifying.
Spoiler alert, the porn star is Russell.
Those weren't prosthetic, baby. Siren Jag says, oh my lord, this is every 6th grade newly pubescent nerd boy's fantasy put in print, right before God sends the second flood to destroy the earth. Only the flood is uncontrolled Greer Rottweiler slobbers.
Yeah, this is like, have you ever read My Immortal? That fan fiction?
No.
My Immortal is a famously bad fan fiction, infamous, I guess is the word, about a self-insert character that has sex with Draco Malfoy, and it's just the sex scenes are described in the weirdest way. It's like he put his thingy in my you-know-what.
Oh, man.
That's what this reminds me
of. Ryan English says, 10 minutes in and I already want to nope out. Haha. No, you stay here. You stay.
Stick around.
We're doing this for you, and you're going to stay with it.
Yeah, spoiler alert. This is not the end of the ride. The ride is far from over.
Russell gives the longest rides.
Oh, shut up.
Even though his face may be paralyzed, he gives the best face rides.
I know a part that's not paralyzed. Disgusting.
Okay. For anyone who has ever worked a full-time job, you probably know the deja vu feeling of waking up at the same time every morning, seeing the same people on your daily commute, doing the same tasks at work. It can be physically and emotionally draining. Add in stresses from other areas of life, and it can be a bit too much at times. That's how I was feeling. I guess that's why I put in so much effort with Taylor, to have her get me out of my daily life and help me be so much more. All I wanted was her consideration at the very least. If she didn't want to, I at least wanted respect and thanks from her. Something to not make this whole thing be meaningless. As repeated many times in this book, her representations portrayed herself as this kind of person. It wasn't a
Your Honor. Your Honor, don't you understand? All I want is her respect.
I think
Taylor Swift hates our troops.
If she doesn't want to give me her consideration, I think, I at least want her respect and thanks, Your Honor.
Have you read his most recent filings? There's a very, very bizarre section in one of them where, because he said that he served her and then he actually served the wrong attorney, but he swears up, down, and sideways that he actually served her And the attorneys came back and was like, no, we're not authorized to accept service. And then he went on this big, long, rambling tangent about, I just want to know why Taylor Swift said no. It's just very bizarre because he feels like he's entitled to know why Taylor Swift doesn't answer every weird, wacky piece of fan mail that comes across her desk.
I think I'm owed this. I'm owed this. I am.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm owed this from her. Now, court, make her like me.
Not in a date way, though.
Yeah. Don't make her like me that way. She has to get there on her own, and she will.
I just want her to have sex with me as a friend. Something equal to the value of this 30-second song I created, like a dinner with one of the most famous women on the planet. Ow, my foot. Stubbed my toe.
Don't
stub my toe on my desk.
You're sitting down. How'd you do that?
I swiveled my chair and stubbed my toe.
No,
Anyways.
that'll teach you to swivel your chair. What is this? I'm trying to take pills with liquor, and my wife put the wrong pill in this pill bottle. It's very
fucking
strange.
why? You're not supposed to do that.
Well, they're just vitamins. It's not like medicine.
Oh.
I'll take it with tea. Should I do? No, we'll do liquor.
Nah, do liquor.
Well,
You're gonna need it for later, trust me.
mm-hmm. Oh, that's tough. Okay. All right, let me get back. As repeated many times in this book, her representations portrayed herself as this kind of person. It wasn't a wacky illusion in my head, nor was I under the influence of any substances. I truly, truly, truly relied on her representations and stunts. I'm not crazy.
I'm not crazy. She's just sending me messages through her Instagram. You see, Nick, if you shake the box of paper cranes, you can actually see written in them, Russell, come have sex with me.
Twice. I think I'm owed that.
Something of equal value. But my illusions of her soon became apparent disillusions when I received an email from a person whom I did not know. It was from John Smith's... Okay, so you did know. It was from John Smith's secretary, Catherine. The subject line read, motion to dismiss. Period goes in the quotation. My heart raced as I opened the email. Attached to the email was the PDF document to dismiss my lawsuit. Oh, yeah, you ready to see Russell go batshit?
Oh, my gosh. I can't wait.
Oh, I got to censor myself. Bat poop crazy. Bat poop crazy.
You don't have to do that. You just...
No, I do.
You're a good girl.
This is a Mormon stream. This is a Mormon
stream.
I felt that maybe Taylor was going to dismiss the case and work something out with me as planned. But when I opened the electronic document on my phone, it was written very rudely.
Wait,
now, Nick,
this can't be a Mormon stream, I just realized, because I'm drinking liquor, so it's got to be a Baptist stream.
Oh, do Mormons not drink?
No, they're not allowed any liquor or mostly anything fun. I'm just kidding. But they're not allowed liquor.
No, he's not. He's not. Nick hates the disabled.
Oh,
and he
that's
considers
true.
all Mormon people disabled.
That's true. I've long been called an ableist. Actually, I'm known in Google as an ableist. At like the Google Work Center or whatever. But no, so you got to be Baptist because they drink the liquor, but the profanity's off limits though.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Just pretend it's the blood of Christ, and that makes it okay. There was a nasty tone in the voice inflection. Smith wrote that the Swifts and Taylor's agents were perturbed by me. They were uncomfortable. They thought down on me. They did not like me. They thought of me as invasive and that I had gone to troubling levels. I couldn't believe what I was reading. All right, Nick, ready to put the lawyer cap on?
Yep.
Ready to put the lawyer cap on? It was blatant slander.
Bzz, wrong. No.
No.
Now
on the next page. Now on the next page, Nick. I don't know if you can see.
Well, we gotta show everybody. His picture is too studly to fit in this blank space. I want to point out that on your screen on the stream, that the blank page that he couldn't fit the picture on is almost an entire page. It's an entire page minus like 6 lines.
Also, that is definitely not a necessary insertion.
Nope.
It's just a screenshot of a document.
And he's got more lines of text on the next page, definitely showing that he could have fit it on the preceding page.
Also, Jesus Christ, learn how to snip your screenshots. Why did you include 2 body paragraphs of text below what you've uselessly read circled? And for anybody that can't read that, it says something. I've read this motion a number of times, so I think I can paraphrase pretty
his admiration.
His admiration of Miss Swift to an unnecessarily invasive and troubling level for her increasingly for her and increasingly for her immediate family and senior management team. Now, Nick, this is clearly slander in the first degree, right?
I'm going to say no.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah, listen. I'm going to say no. And let me one, these are opinions. For if nothing else, they're opinions. 2, it's really hard to slander someone in a court document. Very, very hard. Unless you're lying about them under oath, which would be a bad thing to do. But these are definitely opinions. Miss Swift is feeling that her space is invaded, and she is troubled, and so is her family. So no, they can't. These literally can't be slanderous statements. There's no way for it to happen.
No, Nick. But what you're missing out is that it was a negative opinion spoken about the disabled.
Right.
So that means that it is not libel, but slander.
I think I'm also overlooking that there was a nasty tone in the voice inflection. It was written very rudely.
Are court documents usually written very politely?
Nope. Should we read through it?
Oh, through the court document?
Yeah, I mean, right? We might as well. Like, read through just the snippet.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want me to go, or should you go? Should I take over
You go
this
ahead.
paragraph? Okay. Plaintiff alleges in July, or admits or whatever, that he began contacting Jay Shoutice and Robert Allen, Miss Swift's management team, and attempted to provide them with copies of his music to provide to Miss Swift. Because he's cut off the edges of words. What an idiot. According to plaintiff, Mr. Shoutice and Mr. Allen would not forward his song to Miss Swift. Mr. Shoutice and Mr. Allen allegedly informed plaintiff that they had a no acceptance of unsolicited submissions policy, which meant plaintiff's unsolicited submissions would not be forwarded to Miss Swift. Following these responses, plaintiff attempted on multiple occasions to contact her parents and her brother as well via email, social media, and unsolicited gifts to their personal residences. Don't do that. Legal advice, don't ever do that. Plaintiff alleges he has suffered damage as a result of Miss Swift through the actions of Mr. Shoutice and Mr. Allen refusing to accept his unsolicited submissions. I'll just finish it, I guess, just to see what he's asking for. When Miss Swift, her management, and her family were not responsive in the manner that plaintiff desired, he filed the instant action alleging $7,000 in damages for claims of negligence and intentional infliction of emotional distress against Ms. Swift under the doctrine of respondeat superior. Importantly, plaintiff alleges no actual contact from or conduct on the part of Ms. Swift. In addition to filing this action, plaintiff posted a video online announcing his lawsuit, blah, 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 blah.
Intention to have sex with Miss Swift by any means necessary.
I'm betting. So we don't have that video, right? Like, that's the video we don't have, is his
Correct.
video. I bet, based on how he's laying out this argument, that it said that he posted a video online announcing that he doesn't actually want to sue Taylor Swift. He just wants to get her attention. I bet that's what it said following there. And I bet that's why he took the video down.
Yeah, Nick, he said that in the last chapter, he said that he sent the video explaining that he thought that he discovered the one weird trick that lawyers hate, which is using vicarious liability to get Taylor Swift's attention without I don't know, without suing her directly or something.
Yeah, yeah. Because if you're trying to chase someone down, duct tape them, throw them in a garbage bag, put them in a van, and take them to your dungeon. You don't want to offend them while doing it. So you don't want to act like you're suing them. You want to act like you're suing their agents, and you only have to sue them because hashtag that's the law or something.
Yeah, no, did you see he recently filed a, what's it called when you try to force somebody into court to
Like
testify?
a summon. Oh, a subpoena. A
Yeah, he
subpoena or a
recently
summons.
no, a discovery. He filed for discovery because he wanted
Hmm.
to search Taylor Swift's house for something. I assume dirty panties
Yeah, I was
is
gonna
the off
say.
the record reason, but
I bet you know you have to put with particularity what you expect to find. I expect to find several articles of underwear.
I expect to find delicious toes,
Oh, I would
satisfying socks.
I would like to look behind her bed frame for any toenail clippings that might be left behind, as well as loose strands of hair that might not have been picked up by the cleaners.
I will need to run my tongue across her most recently worn pair of high heels for discovery purposes.
After that search, you know, she'd have just a giant list of weird items that were missing.
She's gonna have to just burn the condo. Also, which house are you searching? She's got like 12.
All of them. All of my left socks are missing.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Nick, I just my gorilla mind just thought of, what if this is because New York has very strong squatters' rights laws? What if he's planning on just moving into Taylor Swift's house without her there? All he has to do is stay for like 48 hours or
Yeah.
something.
He just has to claim that he got lost in the attic or whatever and took up residence.
Get in the closet.
You can't kick me out for 60 days.
I'm a tenant. You're gonna have to evict me while I pour concrete down your drains.
Hessian says, Holy Guano, that guy is a real life Mr. Plinkett. He probably got a kidnapped victim in his basement reading his stupid book. Love you, Nick. Keeping your justice chats clean. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. Landon Mackinjames says, is this author autistic? No, he has
Yes.
Mobius syndrome. It's very different.
Yes, he is autistic.
How dare you? And then he says, Sriracha, what's your favorite anime?
Of all time or recently? I've been real
Yes.
into Mob Psycho 100 lately. The second season is coming out in January, and I'm very, very excited. I'm going to stream it as soon as it comes out. Remember, use horrible subs because Crunchyroll is for losers. This isn't true, I screamed as I read the motion on my phone while standing in the break room, which was surrounded by other companies in the building I worked in. I think we're getting a foreshadowing of how he loses this job.
Well, you can tell when he puts like 12 clauses in the same sentence with no commas, semicolons, or periods.
Yeah, Jesus, this grammar is more broken than my arch. My right foot. Workers in the neighboring companies poked their heads out their doors and peeked through the windows at me to see what was going on. I forgot that I had a loud voice, but I was too stressed out to even care about how I sounded or looked.
You sounded like one of the teachers from Charlie Brown to everybody else.
Can you imagine?
It's like you should be.
Outside of your office in the middle of the night, Nick. Like, Jesus, what was that?
Someone kill that, whatever that is.
I think there's a dog on my property and it sounds wounded. My anxiety began to kick in. My body tightened up. My head began to shrivel. What?
Oh, that's what happened. Here's where it happened. He was fine up until then.
I felt like I was going to have a heart attack. Why would Taylor say this about... Well, Taylor didn't say that about you. That was her
Antoid said
family and senior
patreon.com/askcheerios.
Recollection hit me, and I ran my mind through everything I had sent her, her agents, and her family. There was nothing weird or creepy that I had said. As I glanced at the document once more, the address of John Smith's office caught my eye. I had to confront him and find the truth. Surely Saint Taylor, America's pop princess, would not badmouth a handicapped admirer. Well, she didn't, once again. Family and senior management team. Who simply was trying to get her attention to the effort he put in for her. Granted, this whole situation was unconventional, but she'd accepted and been through weirder things. Maybe I should have sent her 1.989 paper cranes. Less weird.
Wait, 1.989. I've got to. Okay. Russell writes like he's European. Like that's
he writes like he can't read.
Well, that,
if by your opinion you mean illiterate, yes.
No, but I mean, so I think, and I don't know for sure. I'm pretty sure though that like in Europe you would put like periods outside of the quotes, for example. Like that's one of the things he does. And then not a comment on his grammar. I mean on his punctuation. Here he has 1.989 paper cranes, but it was 1,989 paper cranes. And some countries will use the period instead of the comma to denote thousands. So why does he write like this? Like what is that?
Because he's illiterate. Because he's illiterate.
Well, that too.
Paying an editor means less money in the hooker fund. So.
Oh, and yes, there's a weird patreon.com/Asterios that came through, a stray. You didn't hear this, Sriracha, because it came through on my end. But I had a Discord window open and got text-to-speech in it. So I apologize very much for that random happenstance, but that's what you heard from there. So thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Antoids, even though you're not watching. And also, I hate you for not watching. All right. Like a soldier fighting against the odds, I marched out of the elevator and went to the front desk of John Smith's office. Oh, can you imagine? Like all you do is I'm going to just serve this motion to dismiss on him because I have to after filing, when I file it with the court, and then having the idiot show up. Like, he's heated too, right?
That's not normal. Do other lawyers not come knock your door down when you do something they don't like?
Listen. The receptionist, Catherine, saw my moody, determined, confused, disabled face. And slowly put the phone down of the person she was talking to. Can you imagine? Guys, here we go.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you back.
Yeah, no, there's a puddle on the ground I need to clean up.
She knew who I was, and she knew why I was there. Oh gosh. I didn't realize there were
John
quotes.
Smith was busy fucking models in his office. John Smith was busy fornicating with... I'm sorry.
I need John Smith right now, I told the young receptionist urgently.
He's busy, I said, grimacing.
Well, I'm not leaving until I speak to him, I said rudely.
Sir, you'll have to leave. He's busy, Catherine, the receptionist, tried explaining.
I was sent a very hurtful and slanderous motion. The words contained in the document do not match the person I have come to know Taylor Swift to be. Further, I did nothing wrong to that family or to her agents to say so in defamation. I bluntly told Catherine, I will not leave until I find out what the hell is going on.
Like Catherine has any legal knowledge at all and just sits there doesn't just sit there scheduling appointments all day. Like, it's really good, Greer, that you wasted your legal speech on the goddamn receptionist. Mr. Greer, leave now, or Catherine tried explaining, but my anger flared.
God dang it, no! I swore at Catherine. He swore, I did not.
Yeah, that was Russell. That's fine. That's not very Mormon of you. Catherine stared at me, startled. She began to whimper. I breathed slowly, realizing my slip-up. Loud footsteps approached behind me, walking across the tiled floor. Here I am, Mr. Greer, John stated shortly. What do you want? Make it quick. I have plenty of models and celebrities I need to have sex with. I turned and looked upon Taylor Swift's new lawyer. He glared at me.
Why did you lie in your document? I asked hastily, choking out. Taylor Swift wouldn't say this without a fan, let alone a disabled one.
Well, Mr. Greer, first and foremost, once again, Taylor Swift did not say those things. That was her family and senior management team. My duty is to my client, John Smith explained. I cannot write anything contrary to her wishes. Indeed, she did say that she was uncomfortable and that you were being incredibly invasive.
Oh God, I pulled out the lips and I just unleashed a torrent on my floor. That was unsavory.
I know. I was sticking my fingers in my mouth last time and I dripped all over my keyboard.
I just want to, I got to get this in. If you think that you can only do what your client wants, you might want to ask Michael Avenatti, who apparently sued Donald Trump on behalf of Stormy Daniels against her wishes. And then when she asked him where the money from her GoFundMe was, he just set up another one without asking her. So John Smith is wrong. Russell Greer is right. He knows how this actually works. Landon Mackinjames, he replied to you. He said, Sriracha, I tweeted your cuck boyfriend, and he said his favorite anime was Asobi Asobase. I said, really? That garbage comedy show from the summer season? Exclamation point.
Asobi Asobase, Jamie. It's Japanese. But yeah, no, that show was pretty good. I liked it.
It's not my fault that that the Japanese can't pronounce words. Like that's not my fault.
They can pronounce words in Japanese, which clearly you can't.
I don't know if they can, actually. I can't validate that. Like, I don't know what the correct pronunciation is. They might all be doing it wrong.
You gotta just trust me on this one. I thought it was pretty good. Who sent that message?
That's Landon. That's my
Landon?
he's my professional anime recommender. If there's anyone that needs to be on a waifu wars, Landon is your guy.
Yeah, no, Landon, I like that show. You didn't like that show? I thought it was funny.
Well, he'll have to respond in a minute. How? I didn't do anything, I shouted. I did what others before me did.
You are taking this incredibly personally, Mr. Greer. Sean shouted back.
Because it meant everything to me. I began to cry. You don't know my life. You don't know the challenges I go through. I felt she could help me discover myself and touch my pee-pee. She seemed genuine.
She seemed genuinely interested in touching my pee-pee. She seemed genuinely interested in stepping on me with her sweaty soles and tantalizing toes. Well, if she doesn't like you and she doesn't want to work with you, John stated.
Can I work with her nylons, though?
Yeah, I'd like to work one single part of me into the deep crevices of her socks. Right after Pilates class. This is truly disgusting. We're both going to hell.
Oh yeah, I'll save you a place there with some liquor, because I'll probably die first. Women live longer, and I'm old.
It's true. Well, the first one is true. You're not old. You're like 35.
6.
Now please leave. You'd be wise to dismiss this frivolous case and move on with your life. John Smith's words pierced my heart. I couldn't believe Taylor Swift hated me after I was kind to her and her family. I think I would hate anybody who sued me. Like, just blanket statement. I think that if you sued me, I would hate you.
I was kind to her and her family. I sent them gifts and demanded their attention.
I sent them gifts. I sent them flowers. I told her mom that I wish she died of cancer. I can't imagine why these people don't like me.
I killed lizards and left them on their front porch like a cat.
Taylor, hey, listen. It's not his fault Taylor Swift can't catch her own mice.
She's too tall. He's closer to the ground. She has to reach way down to get those mice.
She's got to get on all fours like a feral cat. Blah, blah, blah. Discrimination. Blah, blah, blah. I felt discriminated against, then horror dawned on me. Taylor Swift did not want to dissociate with a deformed person. I think
that's what it is. That's what she cares about.
How would she even know he was deformed? Wait, because he didn't. Oh, wait, no. He tried the America's Got Talent thing, just talking out loud. Would she associate with me and my horrible deformed toes? This lawsuit says no. Obviously, she was open to people writing her. I then remembered the FedEx representative telling me about the packages in front of her parents' house. It was highly doubtful that she hated all of those packages. But the guy... Yeah, that's pretty doubtful. It was highly doubtful that she hated the piñata filled with wet lie.
Like, Taylor's got Pope money. She doesn't want random gifts. Unless, like, maybe... I'm not saying that she's not appreciative, but she doesn't need anything that you're getting her. Like, she can just go get it.
Yeah, plus Taylor Swift gets probably sent so much shit. There's no way she could like, if she went through every gift she was sent, that would be her entire life.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, maybe he doesn't realize that the screening process on America's Got Talent should have showed him how the screening process on the gifts work, because it's the same thing.
They all go in the fire?
No, yeah. If only they put the acts on America's Got Talent into a fire, it would be a better show. No, there's like there's thousands and thousands of people who show up. And then there's a bunch of lower level employees who have to sift through and find a rare gem, either good or bad, and then pass them on. They have to get through all the mundane things. There's a screening process, right? And then you get to the big leagues.
Screening process. That's a bizarre way to say systematic discrimination against deformed people.
Well, I think there may be some cultures out there who have used screening processes against other cultures in history.
Oh, boy. YouTube, please. We didn't say the C word.
I'm talking... Whoa, no. I'm talking about United States. When we screened out the Japanese people on the West Coast and put them in concentration camps.
Yeah, no, Nick. I think we're both on the same page here. I'm just saying, you want to keep your super chat money or no? Or do you want to get to go to disabled kids? Actually, that would be probably pretty fitting for this stream.
Landon Mackinjames says, Asobi was repetitive and unfunny. I've seen over 600 anime. If you need some good recommendations, get at me on Twitter, Mommy Boo Boo Bear Senpai Daddy.
Oh, shut up. It was fine. It was good, you pretentious fuck. All right, give me a recommendation for a comedy with less than 500 episodes. I didn't think it was repetitive. I thought it was good.
Wait a minute. So Landon came on. I had this guy on my show the other day called Anime Outsiders. And then we talked at first because Anime Outsiders was threatened by Tara Strong with legal action.
For what?
He kept posting that video that she posted during the election and then took down.
What video?
The one of her yelling at an immigrant Uber driver about how she was born in America, even though she's Canadian.
Not yelling about that. Oh, come on. She was yelling at him for interrupting her video.
Yeah. No, I know. Because they were talking about Trump. He didn't interrupt a video. He interrupted her conversation. Because they were having a conversation in the Uber, and then they pulled out the phone to record him after he had interrupted and started telling them about the glories of Trump, apparently, which they didn't welcome. I get that. But then, so she posted the video, though, and then she took it down because she realized that it kind of actually made her look bad, especially when she said she was born in America.
Yeah, no, that isn't she Canadian?
Yeah, she's Canadian. And the guy's a legal citizen too, so he has his opinions on immigration. She didn't like him. Like that again, that's not. But so she was threatened legal action because she said that video was copyrighted by her. So she had the copyright to it, and they couldn't reproduce it. And if they didn't take it down, also if they ever talked about her again, that there would be legal action forthcoming. So I brought them on the show so that I could talk about it. And then after that, we devolved into a weeb stream for the next 4 hours. And Landon joined us on that show, and it was great. And we're going to do another one at some point, another Weeb stream, and I'm formally inviting you to the Weeb stream when we do it.
Wow. Yes, I would love to come on your weeb stream. I'll weeb it up for hours. This is this whole fiasco could have been avoided, Nick, with my new app. It's called Spur. Would you like to hear more?
Spur? Yes. I want to hear. I always want to know more. I always click that
right.
button on Starship Troopers.
Nobody steal this idea because this is copyrighted in my brain. Now that I've said it out loud, that means it's copyrighted.
Oh yeah, you're laying it out here. If anybody steals it, we actually have documented proof of when it was said.
Right.
So
it's called Spur, and it's exactly like Uber, except the drivers are legally required to shut the fuck up for the duration of the ride.
Does it cost more?
No, it's actually the same price, but you have to, if you want to pay for them to shut the fuck up, you have to just press a button that say, I'm socially stupid and I don't want to talk to you. And then the driver will know to shut the fuck up. And then if they break that, then they have broken a legally binding contract and you can take them to court.
Yeah, and they have to refund you. And also they have to buy you popcorn or something too, I think.
Yes, correct.
That's liquidated damages. You get movie theater popcorn, which will cost them a whole lot. Like way more than the fare.
$13. Where were we? I don't even remember.
Let's see.
Yeah,
were you reading this one? It was in front of her parents' house. The package is in front of her parents' house.
Then I remember the FedEx.
He talked to a FedEx representative about Taylor Swift's parents' house. The FedEx representative should have immediately called the FBI. Like,
yeah, what are you talking to a FedEx? Why is it FedEx's policy in the first place to talk about the outside of people's houses? I feel like that's a liability.
Yeah.
That's asking for a lawsuit.
It's probably something that didn't happen. He just doesn't want to say that he was standing out front in front of their gate, like looking at all the packages on the ground.
I was violently masturbating in the bushes when I noticed that.
I was bathing in the packages and rubbing them in my armpits.
Gross. It was highly doubtful that she hated all of those packages, but the guy who went above and beyond for her was fighting for equality was somehow labeled invasive and weird. I was at a loss for words. My stomach felt sick.
Oh God, he's got more lines. He's got to stop writing his own dialogue.
I know, right? Getting a real jaw workout today.
Oh, it's terrible. I actually sometimes get sores down here because the plastic's a little too big. That's why I swish the liquor around to wash it out. I'm going to go to the news about this, I told John, shaking, literally shaking. I'm going to reveal what Taylor Swift did to me. I just spit all over my mouse.
Yeah, you need to just wear a bib during these streams. Go to the news. And I will make sure they know how mentally unstable you are, John sneered. John Smith, who has unlimited control over both all of the beautiful women in Utah and the press. If any stations pick this up, I will ensure that this story gets swept under the rug like it never happened. Well, those two things sound mutually exclusive, John. Your choice. Yeah, how are you going to sweep it under the rug if they've already picked it up?
Yeah, we're reading this book right now. You failed, John. You failed. Yeah. This happened.
Way to go.
We know it.
Way to go, idiot. Your choice. John and I glared each other down for what seemed like hours. It took all my strength not to do anything stupid. Like what? Have you seen that guy? He doesn't look like a thin, frail man. He could probably suplex Russell over a desk.
Who, John Smith? Let me look at his picture.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. Should I ring it out on screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see. Oh God. Look at this grizzled man. This is a killer. In a good way. Hold on. Oh, running for Salt Lake County attorney. Here we go. Hold on. I gotta hold it up here.
Oh, he is? Good for him.
Oh,
You should invite him on the stream to advertise.
I don't know when that was from. Hold on. Here we go. Hold it up. There it is. Oh, I get it, Edgar. Look at that. Oh, come on. I'm terrible at this. Look at that. That man's seen more than you, more than me. He knows what life is.
No, he's a good looking guy. He's a good looking lawyer.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
He could definitely beat the hell out of Russell.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. No, it looks like he's got the Clint Eastwood look to him. You know, like he's been through it a little bit. He's been through some tough times.
Yeah.
He didn't take any nonsense from disabled mouth breathers like Russell Greer.
This is weird because I have definitely been imagining John Smith in this book as like this muscle-bound, ripped 6'5" guy, and this is definitely Hollywood casting going on in my own brain.
Oh God. Wait a minute. What's about to happen? Kills me. I just accidentally read like a line down.
Oh God.
Okay, hold on. I gotta get things back to set up. Too much shifting of stuff for this boomer. But my glare got thrown off as hands grabbed my shoulders. It was the building security. My heart sank. Gentlemen, John Smith called to the guards, escort Mr. Greer here off the premises immediately. If he ever returns, arrest him. At once.
Do private security guards have the power to arrest people?
They can only arrest my heart with their ripped muscles.
Yes.
At once, the guards began moving me away from Smith's upscale office. Oh, here, I'll get the protesting.
This isn't fair! I protested as the guards hailed me away. I didn't do anything to Taylor Swift. I began sobbing as the guards pushed me into the elevator.
This guy cries enough to be arrested. Goodness gracious. He's cried like
really
5 times in a page.
He's really upset over this mildly innocuous comment.
They call me weird.
Damn, Russell. Back at my house later that night, I felt like disaster. Sitting on my bed, my head throbbed as if on fire. I could barely move since I was in a state of deep shock. My iPhone sat on my desk in my room playing My Sweet Lord by George Harrison. The strumming of the acoustic guitar made my heart cry. While George sang about meeting his Lord and having faith, the person whom I had placed my faith in hated me. Taylor Swift, literally God. You heard it here first, ladies and gents.
Russ, maybe you should have stayed Mormon.
Yeah, really. At least John Smith would never straight up tell you that he found you invasive and troubling.
Yeah, like if God's agents didn't accept your songs, then I think you'd have a case.
Can you sue God?
You could try.
Can you sue God? Best of legal device debates.
Yeah, why why hasn't Russell sued God? You made me this way.
Yes, I'm suing for my 4th cranial nerve. 7th, I don't remember which one it is. Blah, blah, blah. Well, George sang about meeting Faith and hated me. And there was still a lawsuit against her with a trial date for the conduct of her agents. I had no idea what I was going to do. Instantly, my stomach rattled, and I ran quickly to my garbage can, throwing up.
Sorry.
No, it's so ridiculous.
He's crying all the time. He's throwing up all over the place. What's going on?
Sounds like he has botulism.
Turns out he just ate some romaine lettuce.
Very topical humor.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift
we have
had
only
done
current event humor on this channel.
Like George Harris. And Clint Eastwood. Those are the most topical of references, Nick.
Well, we were talking about hating Asians a little bit ago, and he did do Gran Torino, so I had to link him.
Does Clint Eastwood hate Asians?
No, it was in Gran Torino. He that's the movie with all the Asian slurs. I think.
My parents didn't let me watch movies, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift had done a number on me, and I didn't know if I would make it through the night. I dropped to my knees, listening to the song play in the background as vomit dripped from my mouth. I bet that's not the only thing dripping from your mouth.
Can you? Okay, I didn't even consider the ramifications of a Russell Greer vomit. But like, when you vomit, or like, not you, but like when the royal you.
No, when I vomit.
Like
When I first sleep off.
you vomit, and then you like you get it all out of your mouth. He has to like let it drip out, right? Like he can't.
Gross.
It would just like, I guess he could like try and funnel some water into his mouth and then like gargle it around or whatever, but it's not as simple, because we can expel things by putting our lips together and pushing it out. He can't do that. I mean,
feel if I was
worse for him in this moment.
If I was rushed and I was throwing up this often over Taylor Swift, I would definitely just keep a toothbrush.
Yeah.
Because you gotta clean that.
And like a bunch of paper towels or whatever to wipe out the crevices.
You ever throw up from drinking too much, Nick?
It only like 3 or 4 times in my entire life, in all honesty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
That's
don't
amazing.
I don't actually drink. I've got my limits down pretty well, and so I typically don't. But I did throw up at Road Rage Chicago.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, man! I drank a good amount, and then at the last bar we went to, I ordered a Lafroig, a double, a 10-year Lafroig, and they served it to me, and then like 1 minute, and I sip whiskey, right? I take my time with it. They served it to me, and then like 1 minute later, they're like, "Okay, everybody needs to be out in 10 minutes. Finish your drinks." So I like had to put it down pretty quickly, and then we went to Tanner's place, or wherever Tanner was, like whatever hotel he was at, and I had a couple more drinks there. I think it's a little blurry. And then, yeah, we rode the Uber back to our place, the Airbnb we were staying at, and I threw up on a tree outside. It was good.
Oh, my God.
It's disgusting. But no, it's only like 4 times ever. I typically don't drink to the point of vomiting.
Man, I have such a weak constitution. I throw up very often. I would say half the times I drink, I throw up. And it's not even because I'm drinking to excess. My body cannot handle liquor.
Oh, no. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Because I hate throwing up. I really do.
Oh, really? I like it. I love it. I like it. I like it when I'm intoxicated, because when you throw up, because when you're sick, when you're sick and you'll like twist your body into weird shapes in bed, like, oh, please don't throw up, please. But then when I'm drunk, I'm like, hell yeah, let's get this poison out of my system. I'm ready.
Right, and I will say that like I hate vomiting, the act of vomiting, like the muscle contractions and like the heaving and all that stuff. But when you're done vomiting after heavy drinking, you feel immediately better. Like
yeah, you feel so clean. You feel like you got a whole new set of organs.
Yeah, and you could start drinking again, I hear, after that.
Chapter 6.
Wait, we're still sorry, we're still in this paragraph. I think, right? Aren't we? Oh no, yeah, the vomit dripped from his mouth. It was going to be a long night. You're right. We moved on. Because it literally dripped from his mouth. That's what got me. It was sitting there hanging, like dripping. Oh God, disgusting. Hold on, I got a couple chats real quick. One from Landon responding again to the anime thing. He said, "Comedy anime, watch Takunomi, 4 grown lesbians, also known as elbows, getting sloshed and advertising actual Japanese liquor. 12 episodes of comedy gold. Get on our weeb stream." Well, she already said she would do that.
Yeah, so I'll watch that. I'll watch a couple episodes of that.
And then Dick Weaver. And someone online on Twitter was actually confused about whether or not Dick Weaver does in fact weave dicks. That was
ouch.
That was an actual thing that occurred. And he said, "What about Vash the Stampede, the humanoid typhoon?" I was never a huge fan of Trigun myself. So, and I thought like the Vash cosplay was the one I always saw. And so I never, ever wanted to go to an anime convention, specifically because I would see like 12 bad Vash cosplays and then 12 that were way too good. And I think we'd need a purge of some sort.
Yeah, no, I never got into Trigun, and also I never want to go to an anime convention. People are always very surprised when I say that, but hell no.
Yeah,
I want to hang out with weebs. No.
Some of my friends invited me to one, and I was like, yeah, no, that's cool. I don't think, I couldn't make it. Like, honestly, I couldn't make it, but I also didn't really want to. But I did have, like, they gave me a pass, and I had to give it to one of their sisters because I wasn't going to use it. So I had to go to the convention just to pass off the ticket to someone else. And even just entering the foyer of the hotel, I wanted to genocide cosplayers.
I got on the train one day and there were 3 Sailor Moons in the same car, and I turned to one of them and said, "Is there an anime convention in town?" She says, "Yeah, it's Anime Oasis." It's like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'm ordering an Uber home."
This train is about to smell disgusting, isn't it?
Oh, Sailor Moon must have been hitting the rice cakes much harder than in the anime. If you know what I mean.
Uh-oh. So you're saying there was some spillover in the Sailor Moon leggings that were...
I'm saying one time I came out of work and I saw a 300-pound Sailor Moon running across the road with a hungry skeleton tuxedo mask, and that was the moment that solidified that I will never go to an anime convention.
That's what you're looking for, what everybody's looking for at an anime convention is the waning crescent Sailor Moon. That was the waxing gibbous Sailor Moon you came across. Oh, that was like a Neil deGrasse Tyson anime joke.
Oh, yes. The 2 genders.
Neil deGrasse Tyson in anime?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
I think you did the last paragraph, right? So
Correct.
Okay, chapter 6, when you mess with the queen bee. The moment was so magical. I held on to Taylor Swift's fit waist. Oh, God. It's innocuous, but it's still disgusting when he writes it.
I don't get why everybody is saying that he wanted a date. This was hashtag not a date. I don't know how many times I gotta say it.
I held on to Taylor Swift's fit waist as she had her hands on my shoulders, and we both danced to a slow song. We didn't say much, and we didn't need to. We were enjoying the moment. But then, without any warning, Taylor reached into her dress pocket and pulled out a ring and said, "Marry me, Juliet. You'll never have to be alone." No, I'm just kidding.
I love you.
Taylor
Well,
reached
that's something worse than a ring.
Taylor reached into her dress pocket and pulled out a dagger. Before I could do or say anything, she stabbed me in the heart. Breathless and in pain, I dizzily grabbed my flesh wound. I'm sorry, a stab to the heart is not a flesh wound, Greer. That's a serious issue.
Oh shit, Taylor Swift was armed. So the guards are armed, and Taylor Swift is armed, but he can't muster a gun in his subconscious mind.
Or like a lead vest or something to stop that. Wasn't he wearing armor? Come on, you're like the knight saving her. You should have had at least some Kevlar on. Red blood covered my hand. Taylor grabbed me by the throat and began choking me like a Kekistani strangler. "Russell," Taylor said in a deep, menacing voice, "I don't love you. I don't like your song."
Is that what Taylor Swift sounds like, Nick?
He says it's a deep, menacing voice. I don't know. She's... just a minute ago, he was referring to her as a literal deity. Now she's deep and menacing. "I don't like your song. I don't like you as a person. You're hideous. You're ugly." Her words hurt me more than the stab wound did.
Taylor Swift smokes 2 packs of cigarettes a day. With all my strength, I grabbed her arm, trying to remove her clench from my throat. Oh, okay, wait. How? I feel like if you get bodied by Taylor Swift, you deserve to get set. She's what, like 110 pounds?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
And she's,
I'm pretty sure I could beat up Taylor Swift.
Yeah, and I'm sure Taylor Swift does some work on her figure or whatever, but it's not like she's rocking CrossFit guns or something. You know, she's thin. She's not muscular.
Yeah, like if you get choked out by Taylor Swift, that's not something I would have written on paper, even if it was a dream. Come on, Russell.
Yeah, I feel like you could just grab and break her forearm if you had any level of strength to you. But maybe not.
I guess his biceps work as well as his lips do.
Well, maybe it's all the Krav Maga that she's learned.
Taylor Swift do Krav Maga?
I don't know. In this dream, I'm sure she does.
I don't know. It feels like Taylor is some kind of witch demon. So.
Yeah. You forgot that she sacrificed a baby and bathed in its blood beforehand, so she has unholy strength right now. So I'm pretty sure that's a Magic the Gathering card.
Fucking nerds. All right, back to getting choked out by Taylor Swift. I can't lose my breath. This is probably a sex thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say he has this same fetish, or the same fantasy, but it turns out very differently every other night.
I began to lose my breath. Her grip got tighter. My eyes widened. Just as I felt like I was going to die, an explosion shook the tower, and Taylor lost her balance. Like a falling tree, the tower began to tilt, and then it fell over sideways. But its lower foundation held it from completely toppling over. All of the furniture and wall paintings tumbled out of the tower through the window. Fighting against gravity, I tumbled out towards the window. But how many times is the word tumble going to be this goddamn paragraph? I tumbled out towards the window, but managed to grab a hold of the brick edging of the window. I held on to the edge for dear life. There was a 200-foot fall if I were to let go. Taylor's guitar flew at me. I ducked as the guitar brushed my hair and fell down to the ground below.
If we reverse that chapter, we'll talk about edging, we'll talk about tumbling, and we'll talk about a tower and an explosion. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say.
Taylor, you deserve to get suplexed by the throat by Taylor Swift for that reach.
It's not the reach he was looking for. Dick Weaver. He says, no dicks weaved. I've been on a Blockfest lately, though. What about Cyborg 09? Is that an anime? I think he's asking you about Cyborg 09.
I don't know what that is. I don't know. Wait, is that the show about the people that are human weapons? Because I remember watching that as a kid on Toonami, but I don't know anything about it.
I have no idea. I don't know. Wait a minute. What? I just read the second word of this sentence, and it just makes no sense. Taylor gravitated in the air above me. What is gravitating? Like levitated, Russell. Like levitated, flew, hovered, gravitated?
Yeah, I'm imagining Taylor as some kind of witch demon.
Yeah, but like gravitating is you're drawn into something. So she's not drawn like into a space. You'd be drawn into a thing. Anyway, whatever. Taylor gravitated in the air above me. Her eyes glowed blood red. As I struggled to hang on to the edge, I was unsure what I had done to invoke her wrath and hatred. I've got some ideas. Ever since I discovered her music in that jail cell, her songs consisted of a main theme, heartbreak. Taylor had always sung of love falling through, of guys being trouble, right when they walk in. This was reflected in her personal life. All of her rich A-lister boyfriends had left her high and dry, and only got with her because of their money and fame, not because they cared about her per se. They only offered her fake and pretentious things. I, on the other hand, had actually shown Taylor that I was real and legit. Despite Chris messing up my song, I stood by the composition of my song. It was a good composition for what I was trying to accomplish. Somehow, though, Paper Cranes were better received and weren't intrusive upon the Swifts. Still, what the hell is one supposed to do with 1,989 paper cranes? I would honestly be pissed if someone sent me 1,989 paper cranes.
Man, he really is a hate boater for these paper cranes. This is what, the third time he's brought it up?
He's got, like, does he have no concept of metaphor? Like, it's what they represent, man. Come on, Russ. It's not the cranes. Like, they're not Like building a sofa out of the cranes. It's not utilitarian.
He got her flowers. What the fuck are you supposed to do with flowers? They just sit around and die.
It's probably a
gave her a
symbol.
shiny.
They want her to die. Jeez.
Gave her a shiny rock and a ring. What are you supposed to do with that? It's bullshit, man. That's why I want to be proposed with a Target gift card.
Do you so hypothetical that happens. Do you gauge your answer based on the amount?
Oh yeah, of course.
This is like,
If I can.
Okay. True question.
Okay.
If someone were to literally propose to you with a Target gift card, would it be better if it was something like, we'll use low numbers just for the sake of argument. Like $20 sucks because that's thoughtless. It's got to be like 17, right? $17 or like a 1950 or something like that, right? It's got to be an odd number, a thoughtful one of some sort.
Yeah, 1989. That's
Yeah,
the
what?
only-
This is a 1,000. He should have done that. A $1,989 Target gift card right to Taylor Swift. That would have gotten her
Bold
attention.
of you to assume he has $1989.
I don't know. He spent a lot of money on the production on that first one that failed. And so I think if he would have done that and said, please take me on a shopping spree with my 1989 gift card and help me like update my style or something. God, I'm so much better at this than Russell. I'm going to try it. I'm going to spend the next 2 years gathering $1,989 to buy a gift card.
Oh my god, how hysterical would that be if you got the date with Taylor Swift?
I would email him a live stream link for the entire date too. Here, Russ, watch me hang out with Taylor Swift. By the way, I'm already married. Not interested in her in the slightest. We just talk about music or something. Oh, God.
Send it to him. Like, hey Russ, while you're here, why don't you check out my live streams? We're appreciating the masterpiece of literature that you've created.
Oh, by the way, Taylor, I'm also a lawyer. Do you want to talk about that weird case you had against that one guy?
And she's like, what are you talking about? I've
Yeah.
never heard about this.
Literally who? I don't know. The label took care of that. I don't even know who it was.
Oh yeah, that thing that I had to have one less of 1/50th of what I spend on dinner in a week. No, I don't remember. Quickly, I awoke from my dream and gasped for air. As I caught my breath, a sick and bitter realization overwhelmed me. Oh wait, what the hell? Am I on the wrong page?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Oh, he's talking about he's shocked again that Taylor Swift hated him. I thought this was what we went over in John Smith's office.
Nope.
Deja vu.
Now he's dreaming about being shocked that she hates him.
Oh, okay. Got it. And to my surprise, a feeling of anger began to swell in me. As a side note, I don't do well with people slandering good intentions.
You can't
Fucking-
slander intentions, you idiot.
What? What is it? What does he mean there? Would it be libeling good intent? I don't understand.
Like, how do you slander an intention? It's not it's not a person. It's not even a thing.
Well, Nick, I'm going to slander your stream. I don't know how to do it yet, but I'm going to do it. A thought came to my mind that honestly surprised me. I hated the woman that I had loved. I hated Taylor Swift. My blood boiled as I tried to get Taylor Swift off my mind. It would prove to be easier said than done. With a regular person, if you have a falling out with him or her, you can just block them on social media and block their number, and naturally they eventually disappear. When a world-famous celebrity despises you, though, forgetting about them is next to impossible. Everywhere you go, you see their face on products. You hear their songs on the radio and music streaming platforms. You see them featured on covers of gossip magazines, and it's almost like said celebrity is mocking you. Is this the third semicolon in this sentence? What are you doing? This is disgusting. Does not being able to read, does that come with the legal profession, or is this just Russell?
No, it's all of us. It's all of us, and it only gets worse as you go up from paralegals to attorneys. I've been keeping my eye on the chat a little bit, and there was a comment that merits repeating real quick. Heavy Fisted says, "Could you just imagine the mess Russell Greer being tear gassed would be?"
Won't he just spit all over everything?
It'd just be like every orifice would be leaking profusely. Just oh, disgusting.
Oh,
disgusting.
God.
Sorry. Okay, go back.
Rubbing it in your face that your efforts were stupid, that you are stupid. It makes you almost want to curl up in bed and avoid all activity just so that you can avoid seeing the celebrity that hates you. That's how it was for me the first few weeks of knowing Taylor Swift hated me. And actually, Taylor Swift probably has no idea who he is.
The shock from knowing that Taylor Swift disliked me never wore off. Instead, the shock evolved into a lingering pain that consumed my entire body. I began to lose sleep over Taylor. Began? Sure, buddy.
Well, Nikki's having horrific nightmares about Taylor Swift now, not just wet dreams.
Every time I sleep, she murders me. Oh, related to what you just said, Cormoran says, Greer, quote, "Only I can leave her low and wet." Oh. God.
Thank you, whoever super chatted that. Thanks.
Hashtag disavow. I began to lose sleep over Taylor. When I went to work, my eyes were bloodshot and my body was groggy. Food began to lose taste. Water became sour. Are you sure you weren't just in Flint, Michigan? Things that I once found beautiful became displeasing to my eyes. The effects from the pain soon extended to my mental state. The roommate that I lived with would tell me that he would often hear me talking to myself. I even caught myself talking to myself. I caught him. I finally got him.
I caught myself having vivid dreams about an owl that spoke like Morgan Freeman. Morgan. Yeah, that's his name.
Morgan Freeman owl. I forgot. I would blurt out random things at random times, and I would curse the name of Taylor Swift. Maybe he just has Tourette's. Like maybe he got late onset Tourette's. If he's randomly cursing.
Damn you, Taylor Swift. Now I can't work with kids.
Okay. Sorry. What a disaster of a human. What an absolute travesty.
Oh God.
All right, you're up.
Oh, do I have to?
Yes, you're contractually obligated.
Some readers may be holding up their hands, calling for a timeout, confused how I could be talking about a mental breakdown when the title of the book says that I became falsely known as crazy. Yeah, Russell, that's like 7th on my list of questions about what's going on here.
We're way beyond worrying about the falsity of that claim.
Yeah. How could it be false when you admit to it on paper? A reader may ask. The title refers to falsely because I don't consider myself to be crazy. I had
a... Russ, crazy people don't know they're crazy. That's part of the point.
Yeah, that's not exactly a...
Oh.
Not exactly a point in your favor, bud.
No, I'm not crazy. No. You know how I know? Because I know I'm not crazy.
You know how I know I'm not crazy? Because Taylor Swift's ghost told me that I was not crazy before she shot me with her wizard powers.
She was a levitating blood demon who strangled me, stabbed me in the heart, and threw me off of a tower while I was trying to rescue her by her hair.
And while she was shaking my neck, she said, "Russell, you're not crazy." And then she came.
Oh, God.
That's why it's false. That's why it's false to consider me as crazy, as I'm a pretty normal person with a sound mind. Well, everything that you've written to this point has contradicted that. I just went through a hard time. Blame it on my anxiety and the sudden impact of knowing my celebrity crush hated me, I guess. It's so weird. Nick, do you have a celebrity crush? Because this guy is like 28 years old. I think that's just a thing.
I don't think so. I don't know what I'm trying to think if I had one like a long time ago or anything. No, I don't. It's a weird thing because like how would you ever like what's the point? Because you're never going to meet the person.
I guess I had. Well, it's masturbation fodder, but
Well, that's okay. Okay, so that's different than a celebrity crush, as I was thinking. I was thinking like because he's on another level, right? He has this not just like a delusional dream that he will get the opportunity to meet and mate his celebrity crush. He has a literal expectancy of that happening. Like he literally thinks that if he just does this enough, that Taylor Swift will walk into the courtroom, he can caveman club her and drag her out by the hair into his cave and just go for it. Like that's what's on his mind, or seems to be, anyway. It's
yeah,
not just
no.
like a furious fap session. Because like I think he'd have to take his penis out to dinner at Olive Garden first.
It's true. He can't touch it until he gets he has to pay to touch his own penis.
I'll have to think I mean, don't get me wrong. I unironically love Taylor Swift, like her music and stuff. I like listen to Taylor Swift music all the time. But like, no, there's no like celebrity crush aspect of that. God, who would it even be? It would have been so long ago.
I think my last one I had was James Franco. I was kind of into in college, but that was many a moon ago.
Franco's a weird one. He doesn't strike me as crush material, but you know, I guess.
Hey, he's a good looking guy. You don't think he's good looking?
Yeah, he's not a bad looking guy. But I don't understand how like women rate attractiveness. So that's not I just I'm not dissing on it. Who would I say? It would have had to been early 2000s. I'm sure Lady Rackets probably actually knows who it was.
You tell your wife about your celebrity crush.
Well, this would have been like, but when we were friends, before we were dating or married, type thing.
Oh, okay.
God, I'll have to think about it. I'll think. Maybe it'll come to me. Wait. So, okay. So is this me now?
Yeah. Uh huh.
Oh, we've got a question real quick from Landon Mack and James. He says, "Does Asterios think eating butthole is mealy AF?"
Well, you'd have to ask him because I don't know his opinion on eating butthole.
You're gonna have to ask Asterios for his opinion on eating butthole. Apparently,
Yeah.
yeah. Brad Noble's got it right. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is actually my celebrity crush. But Ruth Bader Ginsburg back in 1924, when she was still only 36 years old.
Didn't she just fall and break all of her bones?
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Tales from the Hood?
No.
I know this is a weird segue, but one of the stories in Tales from the Hood is it's like Black People Tales from the Crypt, if you're not aware, and it came out in like the late 90s, I think. One of the stories in Tales from the Hood, his dad would beat him, and so he was talking to like the school counselor because he was afraid of a whole bunch of stuff, and the monster. He was afraid of the monster, and the counselor's like, well, you know what I did when I was a kid? I would draw a picture of whatever I was scared of, and then I would throw it away or burn it, and then that would get rid of it because that would help me get rid of the boogeyman that I was scared of. So he draws a picture of a school bully who's been picking on him, and then he looks at it and he's like, oh, whatever, and he crumples it up, and you hear this kid scream, and and the next scene is like some like school security guard, and he's like, how do you break both arms and both legs? Just falling down. Must have had weak bones. That's how I picture Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Sorry, that was a long way to it, but this is how my brain works. I don't apologize. Well, I did, but I don't really. Okay. This pain was too much to hold in. Being a somewhat big social media guy.
Oh, I would say, yeah, he is a big social. At least to me, I wake up in the morning, drink a cup of coffee, and immediately check Russell's Facebook.
Was he already a big social media guy though? Like at
If
this
by
point? Cuz
yes,
okay, so at this point he's how quickly did how did he become a big social media guy prior to suing Taylor Swift? Or
he
prior to
became
the
a big social media guy because he had sued the hooker, and
Oh,
someone
that's right. Yeah.
someone had screenshotted I guess someone he knew personally or had him on Facebook as their own personal lolcow, started screenshotting his post and then posted it to Reddit. Reddit is a bunch of weenies, so they blurred out his name, obviously. But then
Right.
someone found it and made a Kiwi Farms thread on him. So I would say at this point he probably had like 2,000 Facebook followers.
Mm. Wow, that's impressive. Good job, Russell. Good job.
Yeah, great job.
Medicurus Murdochian Archiver asked if you had a premium Snapchat.
No, but I steal thousands of dollars a year from the IRS.
Do you have an opinion on okay, the opinion I'm going to ask you is not on anything to do with the events going on, but it's do you prefer thought audit, thought accost, or thought apocalypse?
Oh, I like thought audit because it kind of rhymes. It doesn't rhyme, but it kind of has a nice ring to
Yeah,
it.
thought
Man,
audit's good. I like
that thought audit.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I could talk about that all day. That is the funniest thing that's happened this year. Because you guys know that. I think it's hilarious to me that you guys think that the IRS, the government, is streamlined enough to actually complete something in as little as a week.
It'll be interesting, I think. I think the ramifications of the thought audit are what bother me. One, I don't want anyone audited by the I hate like taxation is theft already. But I find all of this so fascinating. I think if I had to say the initial propagators of this thing might not be thinking it through because the next logical target is not random Instagram chicks sending out titty pictures, right? It's YouTube streamers that you hate. At least in my opinion, but most of these websites actually do 1099 this stuff. I don't know about Snapchat. I don't know about how they do premium Snapchats, but I know like Streamlab and Twitch and YouTube all do. They 1099, so they report to the government, and you have to report the income yourself, and so there's a trail there. But yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, have you seen the form that you need to fill out to
report
say
someone?
that to report it? Yeah, it's like you need their full legal name, their address, their age. And it even says on the form, we are not looking for educated guesses. You are submitting under penalty of perjury, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I would be very surprised if anybody actually got it audited as a result of this. And the account that originally tweeted it, I've only seen 2 accounts that said they got audited, and one was confirmed fake, and the other one was Brittany Venti, who I believe I saw at that Shia LaBeouf thing at what the he will not inside us.
Yeah.
Where she said she was there to trigger normies. So I don't know how much I would trust Brittany Venti's.
I didn't watch it, but okay, so Brittany Venti was on the Kill stream debating the guy who started the thought audit thing like last night. So
oh, really?
If you're really into it, you may want to check out the archive on Stream Me or whatever for it because yeah, that happened. I'm so busy this week. I don't have any time to watch anything like that, but I kind of want to. So.
Yeah, no, I would be very surprised if anything came out of the thought audit except for a low-level IRS employee being mildly annoyed for a couple of months. No, sir, I promise we do not have slutty big titty Becky on our on our record.
Oh, man. I hope Mundane Matt gets audited as sending out premium snaps, though.
I hope Mundane Matt gets audited because I don't think his soy that he pours out of his pussy is FDA approved.
Yeah, but couldn't you imagine someone like This is a titty streamer. He's fucking mad because he's a big fat guy. Oh.
He's allowed to show his nipples, and I'm not.
Oh my God. They should also thought audit that libertarian candidate who stripped naked on stage at the debate in 2016.
What?
That guy needs to go.
Oh man, we are so far into the weeds.
Yep. Okay, let me read this chat that came from Siren Jag, and then we'll get back on track. Here's a little known fact. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is actually the one who danced for King Herod and asked for John the Baptist's head on a platter. Aww. She was only 46 at the time. No. Sorry. My grandpa told me a story about how he and my grandma, this was back a long time ago, they went to see a famous strip show back when strip teases were like tasteful, or strip shows were like a tasteful thing instead of just a dirty strip club experience that you'd go to a theater for and like buy a ticket and sit down in your assigned seat.
Oh yeah.
And there's this famous lady doing the strip show. Is a bathtub strip show that she did. He's telling my sister and I about this. We're like, I'm probably 28 at the time, and she would have been 30, 33. As he's telling us a story about this most beautiful woman that they like, everybody, the whole town was like riled up to see this lady. And so they all went. She's 80 years old, but absolutely stunning. And I was like, wait, what is this?
This is repulsive. Can we get back to, I can't believe I'm saying this, but could we get back to the less disgusting Russell Graves book?
Yeah. Okay. Being a somewhat big social media guy, I decided to write the truth of what happened with Taylor and how there was a lawsuit against her. My goal with advertising the lawsuit was to bring awareness to an unfair situation, since John Smith threatened to quash me if I went to the news stations. And boy, did it cause controversy. My number of friends, who were more like acquaintances, on Facebook decreased significantly. Friends of other social media friends were trying to add me on social media, only to tell me how dumb I was. Since Facebook invented the emoticon reaction buttons, ha faces plagued my posts. Nobody.
Oh, this is.
What,
I'm sorry. Finish out the paragraph.
Okay. Nobody wanted to accept the fact that Taylor Swift would say this about a person. She was everybody's hero, their idol, their pop princess, their queen bee.
Russ is a real man. Nothing Russ's Jimmy's like the haha reaction on Facebook for some reason. He gets incredibly angry to the point where he made some kind of post about Taylor Swift and someone haha reacted it, and he straight up asked them, "Can you change your haha react to a like?" Even after the guy explained, "Hey, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because this situation is funny to me." He says, "Well, can you change it?" He sees it as spitting in his face.
Yeah, well, that's because he spits in his face constantly.
Exactly.
Like, naturally.
He only wants his own drool.
Okay, real quick before you start this next paragraph. The Diggist says, "Good morning, you two. Last day at work today, running to HR to not get cheated out of my last pay and Christmas bonus. Fun. Greetings from Germany." Hey, greetings back to Germany. Thank you, The Diggist. Glad to have you on the show. Well, in the chat, greetings. You know what I mean. You know
from New York City, New York, and a Merry Christmas to you. Guten Tag. I don't know the German.
Oh, so I've got Tess in the chat asking me about sex toys. So the next paragraph I read, I'll do I'll put the mouth back in. I don't think
okay.
I think she came in after it started. And this is the first one of these she's seen. She has to go back and watch the first 5, I think, to really understand truly what's going on. But for now, I will do the next paragraph with the lips. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Besides not wanting to accept the fact that I sued Taylor Swift, nobody wanted to understand why I sued her. He's so entitled. It's like, oh, no, you don't understand why I'm costing you thousands of dollars.
And you have to. You have to understand it. It's your duty.
You owe me an explanation. Nobody understood why I sued her. Nobody understood my legal arguments, but with the recent revelations of Swish hating my guts, those legal arguments were now moot. The entire lawsuit was meant to bring her attention to her agent's negligence, but since she knew about everything, it was a mute case. Even my number one supporter, Ken, lost faith in me. Taylor isn't under any contract to accept your gift. Thus, there is no legal duty, Ken had explained to me, but I still felt led on. Ah, yes, the legal doctrine of feels not reals.
The legal doctrine of, I know a lawyer told me exactly how my case won't work, but he meant something else.
Ah, yes, I believe that's paragraph 12 in the Utah State Code, subsection 12, the clause. I can't explain, but I felt led on. The misrepresentations felt so real. The dreams felt so real. The Morgan Freeman owls felt so real. I felt I had this in the bag, so to speak. I had played the right game. I kept running through my mind where I went wrong. I stood by my efforts. My efforts were head and toe above the paper crane girls. This is now, we're going to make this a drinking game, guys. Whenever he mentions paper crane girls, just take a shot, die of alcohol poisoning.
Drink a bottle of wine. Just the whole thing.
As outlandish as it sounds, I strongly felt it was because of my facial deformity that Taylor Swift didn't want anything to do with me. It was the truth. All logic pointed in that direction because I had done nothing wrong to her. Even though Ken may have been correct in his legal reasoning, I stood by my claims that I deserved to have my penis sucked.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Okay. Oh. Sorry, my mouth is a little dry there. Unbeknownst to me, weirdos online, or commonly known as internet trolls, are taking screenshots of my posts and are putting them on Reddit and other forums. While I personally didn't go onto the chat boards to read the forums on me, as who wants to read crap and slander written about them, I was informed through other people. Contrary to my intentions, I was becoming known as a fruitcake with my hosts.
Ah, yes, the worst insult you could call someone a fruitcake.
As weird, as crazy, as frivolous. Since the situation was an odd one, my post naturally came off as weird, even when that wasn't my intention. Even when I wrote very tame and polite posts, they were twisted to make me sound like a weirdo.
How do you... Russ! How are they... They're just taking screenshots of your posts and linking them.
Yep.
How does that
literally
twist
just
them?
screenshots.
Oh.
All right, let me figuring that I was going to be seen as weird anyways for writing the truth, I decided to add flavor and flair to my posts and be loud and proud, you know? I went total shock. I used rhetoric to get my message across. Rhetoric like a hooker friend has AIDS. Crazy shock humor like Taylor Swift's mom should have died of cancer.
Oh.
Now that's what I call edgy. Get my message out there so John Smith could not stop it. And when I decided to go to the news, many influential people throughout history have deployed rhetoric to spread their message. Oh boy. I decided to steal some of Donald Trump's thunder and say eccentric things on purpose to bring attention to my situation. Oh man, my favorite Trump speech is the one where he gets on stage and said that Ted Cruz had AIDS. Who could forget?
Taylor Swift is terrible. She's a terrible person. She hates facial deformities.
Frankly.
Listen here, what we're going to do, we're going to build that wall. We're going to build it right around Tennessee. And we're going to throw her in, frankly. If you understand.
I have never seen a worse face movie. I can't do it. I can only do the Brooklyn accent. I can't do a Trump. It sounds exactly the same as my Kevin Landau impression.
God, you know what? If you had the opportunity, if you had one shot, if you just had one shot, right? It would be you'd have to get Trump to watch a video of Russell Greer and do a Trump reacts. Like, I feel like every other president, they retire from being president and they go on to like be the dean of a college, or they go on to, just have a speaking career where they go around the country and do things, or they write books about their choices that they made, like George Bush did or whatever. I think his should be Trump reacts videos on YouTube. I think it would be former real actual president reacts.
I believe that Russell also sent a copy of his book to President Trump.
Oh my God.
I have no idea if Trump actually read it. Oh wait, no, I do think I do have an idea whether or not Trump actually...
Okay, as a missionary, I think is where you're at.
Oh, okay. As a missionary, I had been taught the widely touted John Calvin phrase, "I set my files on fire with enthusiasm so others can come for miles to watch me burn." I have sex with hookers for miles so that I can feel myself burn.
It's the burn isn't going away after 7 days. I go to the pharmacy.
The quote, when it uses the word burn, doesn't mean the word in the usage of everybody is coming to laugh at you sort of way. The quote is just saying that your enthusiasm for what you are trying to get into the world will attract others. It was time for me to utilize that phrase and have it become my daily motto in order to bring to light what Taylor Swift did to me.
There's a chat here from Metacurist Murdochian Archiver. This is back to that Brittany Venti. Venti told David on the Ralph retort, "You retweeting Roosh, I think, and writing ha 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 is slander." She also said she might sue Roosh after she gets home. Lol suit. Well,
that's not going to happen because Brittany Venti is trolling you. She does nothing but troll. She is trolling you. You are getting trolled. She does not mean anything that she is saying.
I hope not. I hope not. I don't know that she would have the best case on that, if that's true. Post after post of what I wrote was filled with flair and fire.
Oh, I'll say it was.
I typed in bold words how Taylor Swift was not a princess, but a snake. She was a hypocrite who contradicted everything she had ever written through song. She, and not her boyfriends, was the cause of her problems. She didn't care about the kids with cancer that she saw. She did it for the good publicity. She donated to charitable causes for the tax deductions, Russ. This was all proven with how she treated me. If she really cared about everything she did, things would have worked out with her and I, because I was the perfect candidate. And at this point, Russ realized that he wasn't just talking about her, listening to and appreciating and saying thank you for his song. It was all that plus rampant sex, marriage, and a long life together. I embodied everything she advocated for.
Not a date.
I had put in effort to impress her, to show her that I cared, and I got the middle finger from her and her family and her agents.
My rhetoric began to spread like fire online and in non-virtual reality. What? Online and in real. I don't think you need to. This dude spends so much time on the internet. He needs to specify that it's The rumors, though often twisted, were talked about amongst gamers who played online. Threads were created about me on Reddit. Coffee shop hipsters sipped their multi-flavored drinks as they gasped about the man suing Taylor Swift. Facebook groups talked about Russell Greer and how weird I was. Hundreds of search results began forming on Google and Bing of me. Taylor Swift Russell Greer began to be a search term that would show up in search results on search. What? Oh my God, I have just been murdered by words.
Yeah,
That is
but
the worst sentence in this entire book.
it's the worst sentence, but the same sentiment as a friend of ours.
Taylor Swift Russell Greer began to be a search term that would show up in search results on search engines.
They're messing with my
But I-
Google results.
They've destroyed my SEO. Hundreds of people began following me on my Facebook. Heck, any publicity is good publicity. I would let the truth speak for itself. A storm was beginning to brew.
Despite all of the rumors and gossip surrounding me, I still was unsure what I was going to say at the trial. It was mid-November 2016. I knew what I wanted to say about how Taylor's stunts misled me, but I couldn't find any legal precedent to agree with what I was saying. That's your first problem, Greer.
Where we go from here? Well, everything here is telling me I'm wrong.
No, it's all of precedent that's wrong.
It must be the children that are wrong.
I was completely oblivious to the third-person misrepresentations argument. Nope, you weren't, because it doesn't exist. The main consensus against me, online and with the people I talked to, was that I was not in a contract with Taylor Swift, nor had I ever met her, so therefore she owed me zilch, nada, zero, nothing, zip.
Okay, well, these are all verifiable facts. So let's see how.
This is very true. But there had to be a way to show that with her level of influence, repercussions should be levied against her for misrepresentations.
But there had to be a way I could abuse the legal system to force her to suck me my penis.
Did you ever think growing up that the actual Care Bear would be Taylor Swift? Where there's a will, there's a way. That's Care Bears, right? I think that's
I have no idea.
Maybe it was The Hobbit. I don't know. I gave myself until the end of November to find precedent and arguments to support me, and if I didn't, I would dismiss the case before trial. Well, that seems like that's a lie.
Yeah, something tells me that even because, yeah, you know. On a cold Sunday evening towards the end of November, I was invited to go with this is one of the best parts in the entire book. This is great. I was invited to go with a charity group to visit sick children in the hospital. Listen to just the bleeding heart.
Yeah.
One child I met was a boy named Max. He was 10 years old and was slowly dying. He showed the group that I was with a cardboard poster that contained his last wish, a shout out to have Taylor Swift. What a crazy, amazing coincidence.
I hope
Nick.
he stomped on Max's dreams and told her what a harlot skank Taylor Swift was. She doesn't like dying children.
My eyes widened in horror. Taylor Swift is the best. Francine, a girl in my group, remarked. Why do you want to meet her? Because according to precedent, I have seen her use her representations to show that she... The dying child said.
That's basically what he said, right? Because I've seen her visit other kids, Max explained. The group gave a giant, aww.
Look
at him dying.
When you get your... And then he died without Taylor Swift ever giving him a shout out on social media.
Oh my gosh.
I, too, get all of my legal advice from kids dying of cancer in the hospital.
Like electricity streaming to a light bulb, the word instantly flashed into my mind. Celebrity influence. That's 2 words. By Taylor visiting other sick kids, Max was influenced by those visits. He put his dying wish on Taylor Swift as a person. And even though Taylor represented through her actions that she could visit every sick kid in the world. Taylor Swift has now Santa Claus travel powers. She would probably never visit Max, leaving him brokenhearted. I looked at sickly Max and I felt sorry for him. This is why he feels sorry for him. Not because he's dying of cancer, but because he might not meet Taylor Swift.
And then Max grew wings and flew out of the hospital window because that's about as real as the rest of this story.
I didn't want him to be disappointed like I was when I discovered that Taylor Swift didn't give a rat's butt about me, even after I went through so much effort for her. Right then and there in the hospital room, I decided that I was going to find the applicable precedent and take down John Smith and Taylor Swift in the courtroom. I was gonna do this for Max.
Little did I know that Max would eventually recover from his illness. He would go on to discover the theory of relativity, and would then change his name to Albert Einstein. He would also become the president of the United States.
This was written by Abraham Lincoln.
Spending hours on the computers and skimming through different research sites, I studied numerous articles pertaining to celebrity influence. Finding articles that I agreed with, I would highlight important text and paste the research into a Word document. Much of the research I found was mentioned previously in Chapter 1 of this book, so go ahead and read it if you skipped over that part, because I feel like it would be redundant to repeat the research that I found.
Yes, for us, what we all did was we skipped Chapter 1 and we went straight to 6.
Does the font just switch in the middle of this paragraph, or are my eyes as broken as my foot? Do you see that?
Where's the switch happen?
Where it says celebrity endorsement.
It goes italics there.
Yeah, but doesn't it look darker?
Oh yeah, no, it does. It does. It's weird.
There was no editing done in this book. None whatsoever. I've blah blah blah. And then with a few scrolls and clicks, I stumbled upon a life-changing law review written in 1987 by a then law student named Jay Cogan. The law review was entitled Celebrity Endorsement, Recognition of a Duty. In essence, the law review did an in-depth study into the power of celebrity and argued how celebrities should be held liable for their misrepresentations with their publicity stunts, as they are already held liable for the products that they negligently endorse and represent. Granted, law reviews are not binding per se, but the case law and information...
Not per se, Russ. They're not binding at all.
Granted, this was not relevant whatsoever. It was just... Granted, this held about as much legal water as an article written on Huffington Post, but I was determined to get my dick wet.
Now, Judge, I know we've got decades, century of legal precedent on this, but what I want you to consider is a 1987 law review article written by a non-licensed attorney. That trumps all of what you've got right there. That's what's going to do it.
But have you considered that my penis is dry?
Yeah.
Granted, but the case law and information cited in them can be used for both mandatory and persuasive authority and arguments. Go read Chapter 1 if this sounds like gibberish.
Well, Chapter 1 sounded like gibberish. As I studied the law review, orange-colored letters began to form on my bedroom wall, and they caught my attention. Wait, what? The light in my room began to dim. This previously happened in Ken's office, as explained earlier in the book. I refer to this strange happening as my beautiful mind moment. Do you remember how Russell Crowe ended up?
I was gonna say, did that guy kill himself?
I think he just went nuts. Like I don't think he went suicide. He just went like stuck in a chair, talking like I don't know, like Stephen
As
Hawking.
one does. I'm sitting in a chair, talking redundantly, blabbering on about Taylor Swift for all eternity. That's how that movie ended, right?
Yeah, that's actually it. Since similar occurrences happened in the movie, a beautiful mind. And no, I wasn't a paranoid schizophrenic. The movie was just the only example I could think of to relate to my experiences. Russ, Think about what you just said, buddy. The only thing you could think of to relate to your experiences was that of a paranoid schizophrenic. It's
Man,
only
don't you hate
like
it when you have a great idea and the only thing that your mind goes to is, I'm going to get put in jail if I do this? Damn.
It's weird. I was thinking about this, and the only thing that compares accurately is a pedophile, but I know I'm not that. Like magic, the letters spelled out Taylor Swift owes a duty to have disclaimers.
Turns out he's also dyslexic.
God was trolling you, B. Dom Hall 1989 says, with the passage of 1639 in Washington, the addition of new and unconstitutional gun laws in California, and the proposed law to surrender Facebook passwords to buy a gun in New York, do you see any path to restore the Second Amendment? The Supreme Court has to start taking cases on the Second Amendment again. They have to stop running from it. And that's what it's going to take at this point. Or it's going to take Congress to make another amendment that says, no, we really mean it this time or something. But it doesn't look promising for either of those things happening in the near future. So, sorry. Okay, so you're up. Sorry, quickly, the letters dissolved.
Quickly, the letters dissolved, and then black and white moving images began to project onto my wall. The images consisted of Swift basking in the spotlight, doing publicity stunts, posing with fans, and then other images began to play right beside the Swift moving pictures of fans eagerly waiting to meet Taylor Swift. The images of her fans consisted of different ages, genders, and ethnic groups from all around the world. Though they were all from different cultures and countries, the fans all shared one common trait: their smiles. They had put their faith into Taylor Swift.
I need to point out that in the third line where it says the Swift moving pictures, he capitalized Swift. I think that's the first joke he didn't explain in his.
I was gonna say,
book.
and it's funny because I totally missed it. I'm just used to reading this as if it was the inane babblings of a crazy person. I'm not even looking for sly humor anymore because usually it's in a footnote.
There should have been a parenthetical explanation of that, like her name, lol. Footnote.
Do you get it?
Footnote. Aren't I a genius? I'm a regular George Carlin. At a certain point, the happy fans turned into sad fans, apparently realizing that Taylor Swift did not wish to acknowledge them. How horrible must it be to be Russell Greer, to go through all this effort, and to realize that just anyone who buys a front row ticket and gets their hand shook by Taylor Swift has more interaction than he'll have with her in his entire life.
Oh, well, Nick, I don't mean to spoil this book for you, but something very similar that happens with a pop star, maybe a pop star who just put out a really big music video. I won't say her name, but it rhymes with Schmariana Schmanday. Guess how that ended? I'll give you a hint. It ends in a place that rhymes with Schmort Room.
They became disappointed. Young children began crying on their parents' arms. Preteen girls lied on their beds, sobbing, hugging their pictures of Taylor Swift. Another picture showed a woman standing atop of a giant building, hopeless. She appeared to have given her all to Taylor and got nothing in return. Without warning, the woman jumped off the building and flung herself down towards the street. The pictures then dissolved and the lights were raised to full room brightness. It was apparent, given Taylor's level of influence, she owed duties to warn with her publicity stunts, with her paid and marketed interviews to not cause heartache to the fans that adored her, to prevent suicides.
Has there ever been an instance, a documented instance of suicide by Taylor Swift?
I don't think so. I know there's one from Jackie Chan. At least one. I think maybe one or two for Jackie Chan. Because I saw him talk about it on an interview. But I don't.
Really?
Yeah, he there was a rumor that Jackie Chan got married when he was much younger. There was a rumor that he got married, and then he like left his house one day, and a girl came up and just killed herself right in front of him.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that's when he I think he might still be single, and he decided at that point to forever become or to be single. That's what he said anyway. I think he was just trying to remain unattached so he could sling it around.
Oh my god. Damn it, Jackie Chan. I was reading this article the other day. I think it was some Chinese pop star that was very, very popular just in China. His name's Andy Lau or something. And this guy killed himself because his daughter, who was obsessed with him, he knew that his daughter would never be married to him.
So he killed himself?
Yeah.
Goodness, you think he'd kill the daughter? Like for not being good enough or whatever.
He also blamed Andy Lau for his suicide. He was like, "How could you be so heartless and cruel, Andy Lau?"
Andy Lau's good stuff. He got real popular, I think like 12, 13 years ago in the States anyway. He was in a bunch of those the Asian kung fu movies that came over. If I remember
really?
right. I think that's him.
I didn't know he was an actor.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. With a great sense of relief, I began sobbing again with the crying, because
He cries a lot.
Russell, it's embarrassing, buddy. I had finally been redeemed. It was like a heavy weight had been lifted from my shoulders, and after reading the law review, my words weren't crazy. They had just been validated with the law review that I had read. I mean, come on. There was somebody out there who agreed with what I was saying. I Googled the author and discovered that through his personal profiles that he was the vice president of legal affairs for a giant entertainment company. Far from a crazy loon, since I couldn't amend or supplement my lawsuit as it was in small claims court, which doesn't allow for any fancy courtroom procedure. I gathered all of the information I had found and prepared to use it for my small claims court trial. I was ready and armed with my new information to win the lawsuit and bring Taylor Swift to justice for her failure to provide disclaimers.
I'm not crazy. I just read a vaccine insert that told me that it would give my kids autism. Our beautiful country, the United States of America, has had a violent history with persecuting those who espouse an unpopular belief and who put those beliefs into speech. Well, how would you persecute somebody if they didn't put it into speech? The witches, they're reading my mind again, Nick. The assassination of Martin Luther King for advocating for the civil rights of blacks. Robert F. Kennedy, killed while running for presidency, had held unpopular beliefs. Smith.
Which ones, Russell? Which unpopular
Yeah, what
beliefs?
were they?
Sorry, go ahead.
Joseph Smith, founder of Mormonism, killed on the second floor of a jail with his brother for simply forming a new religion. Even the internment of the Japanese Americans for them simply being Japanese. The belief of being Japanese. Nick, did you know that being Japanese is a frame of mind?
Being Japanese is an unpopular opinion.
Yeah, frankly, I don't respect any opinion of
Take
someone
that.
is Japanese.
Take that, George Takei. That's why you and your family got interned. It was because you believed Japanese.
Oh, YouTube, I didn't say that. Overlords. Dear Zuck, please don't Zuck me again. Jack, I swear to God it wasn't me.
George Takei was actually interned. That was a real thing.
No, I know that. I know that.
I didn't say he deserved it, though.
You kind of did. It is truly sad and ironic, given how the First Amendment of the Constitution grants free speech, free expression, and free Taylor Swift sucky. But like the above mentioned martyrs, I soon find myself being persecuted for my beliefs of what Taylor Swift did to me and the duties I claimed she owed me.
I claimed being operative in that sentence.
Yeah, whatever.
Come on. On many different instances, during the evenings as I would walk home from work. Just get a car, Russ. You live in Utah. It's not like you live in New York. Since I didn't have personal transportation, many cars would pass by me and shout at me. Some drivers flipped me off. Others shouted rude names at me like retard and squareface. Wow. I don't know which one of those is worse. Squareface is pretty mean. Can you imagine?
Yes.
Like just a cavalcade of cars driving past Squareface.
Unpopular held beliefs like retard and squareface.
Scared, I would arm myself with rocks to toss at the harassing drivers. This guy's got a death wish. But I never did throw any of the rocks. Oh, okay, good. The rhetoric was definitely pissing people off. Yeah, what they did was they all identified you from your Facebook rhetoric as they drove past you walking
on the highway. Hey, there's the guy that pulled Taylor Swift. Pull over.
This guy's after Taylor Swift. Hey, shut up, Squareface. Quick, splash him with that puddle. They didn't want to hear that their pop princess could or would discriminate against a disabled person. We call them crippies. Despite all of their denying and mocking me, I wasn't going to back down because it indeed happened. While it's iffy that I was legally discriminated against by Taylor. No.
Russell.
It's not iffy. Like being denied a service. You clearly weren't denied a service.
Well, it's iffy that I actually have a claim. I did not feel good.
I was indeed socially discriminated by her. She slandered my intentions because of how I looked. That's what she said. She went on TV and was like, the intentions of Russell Greer are all wrong because look at that square-faced retard. That's what it was. I mean, come on.
I'm trying to imagine what this disclaimer would even be. What would it have to be?
It'd be a decade long to cover all of the stuff that he... I will...
She should make it just for Russell.
Yeah.
Say, hey, I visited this kid in the hospital, and then note, this offer does not apply to square-faced retard.
But here's the kick, though. As a compromise, she'd be forced to drive past him in a car to say the disclaimer while he was walking home. I was indeed socially... Oh, yeah. Slandered my intentions because of how I looked, which is the definition of social discrimination. I mean, I don't think so. And so I was going to tell the entire world about what she did. I wasn't going to let Taylor Swift get away with this. But the harassment against me only escalated.
Oh, Nick, I'm going to need you to strap on your lawyer helmet for this next paragraph.
Oh, no, it's in Ken's office. I know it's good.
Oh, this is a great game I like to call Should You Call the Police? Ready? As I left Ken's office one evening, after showing him the new research that I had found, a black Jetta pulled up behind me. Quickly, a Hispanic man wearing a bandana around his face jumped out of the car and began screaming at me. Terrified, I turned around as he held up a gun and pointed it in my face. Get down on your knees, the man. Get down on your knees, essay. The man screamed. I trembled and fell to my knees.
What I didn't mention before was that he was wearing a flannel shirt over a wife beater, but he only had the top button buttoned on the flannel.
And I looked at his car. I saw his girlfriend with her 90-degree eyebrows drawn on and her hoop earrings that measured 3 inches in diameter.
When his car stopped, it actually dropped and scraped on the ground. Oh. He got out of the car and it played La Cucaracha. Oh my god.
Enchilada. As he's pointing the gun at him, I could smell the odor of Taco Bell wafting from the beak.
You're like, get down on the ground, reach in your back pocket, hand me your wallet if you please.
What do you want? I begged nervously. Shut up, Issy, the man yelled at me. We know all about your lawsuit. Taylor didn't do shit to you. Why don't I shoot you, huh?
Taylor Swift is popular with the mugging Mexican crowd, apparently.
Taylor Swift employs hardcore Hispanic gangbangers. Unfavorable.
She got him on Fiverr. It's fine. Goes on Fiverr. Need Need essay to rough up hombre in Utah.
Taylor Swift goes on the dark web and posts, "Hey, I'm looking for a Hispanic to rustle up. Hey, do you get it? Do you get it? See how clever I am? This guy that's been causing. Please don't," I stammered without any hesitation. The gunman pulled the trigger as I screamed, but no gunshots rang out. It was just a plastic click. The gun was fake. Drop the lawsuit next time, SA, or it may just be a real gun. Matt said as he ran back to his waiting Jetta and drove off to the nearest Taco Bell. Too scared, I didn't catch the license plate number, and since I'm not a huge car guy, I wasn't sure if I got the right make or model of the car. Really? Because you seemed it pretty confident about the Jetta thing, since you've said it twice, if I reported it. So I kept it quiet. So now, Nick, let's play my favorite game. Should you call the police?
Yeah, probably. Wait, what didn't he specifically also say it was a black Jetta? So he's got the color, make, and model, and the ethnicity of the driver. Do Hispanics in Utah drive black Jettas?
Are there Hispanics in Utah? Follow-up question.
And that's the question, right? Because then you call the police. It's like the one Hispanic guy in Utah. Oh yeah, the guy who also drives a black Jetta. Oh yeah, Jorge, I know that guy. Yeah, he just held up a fake gun and tried to fake kill me.
Hey, Hispanic guy tried to kill. Oh really, Horatio? We gotta go get him again. Yeah, so I kept quiet, but the incident prompted me to go to the gym more regularly and train myself how to fight.
Train himself. Don't get help from someone. Just teach yourself how to fight, Russ.
Google search how to fight a gun.
Can drool stop bullets?
You brought a Taylor Swift to a gunfight, Russ. Critical error. A war was beginning, and I needed to be in my best shape alive and to defend myself. The Jetta incident made me ponder if my rhetoric was worth it. Was writing the truth worth being shot or stabbed for?
Ask John Lennon. At work one day, an email from a man named Chaz appeared in my work inbox. No, that's Chester. It was Brendan Fraser. Oh, God. Thinking that he was someone related to the insurance business that I work for, I opened the email. It creepily read, "Oh, I can't even read this. You got to read it. It's got too much profanity for me."
Hey, shitless Greer, we got you, you dirty bastard. We know everything about you. Drop the damn lawsuit. If you don't, we will make your life a living hell. Click the link to see what I mean. Oh, this is also one of my favorite parts of the book.
Click the link and input your social security number.
Hi, I'm Taylor Swift. Can I have your credit card number?
Well, see, this is all now I know what happened. This is Kiwi Farms, run by Mundane Matt. Chaz is probably actually Mundane Matt.
I believe that.
The email perturbed me. Looking behind me to make sure nobody was watching, I quickly clicked on and followed the link, because that's what you should do. Oh my gosh, it is
Hi. That's me. I am Chaz. No, it's not Kiwi Farms. It's Kiwi Orchards, Nick.
Yeah, sure. After a few seconds of loading, a weird-looking website uploaded. The site was called Kiwi Orchards. And by the way, the IT guy who works at Russell's at whatever insurance thing, he's watching right now, and he just had 12 heart attacks finding out that Russell opened an email from a guy named Chaz and then clicked the link to follow. Oh my gosh. The site was called Kiwi Orchards, and it proclaimed proudly that it took pride in mocking the weird and the deformed.
Yep, that's me. But I am also deformed now, remember. I have no foot.
Yeah, now you have a pass. You have a deformed pass.
It's true.
Disturbingly, the site contained videos mocking autistic people and the intellectually challenged. Oh, it mocks weirdos and dummies, apparently. That's how he's choosing to phrase what they do. There were videos mocking people with cerebral palsy and others confined to wheelchairs. There's probably Stephen Hawking. That was me, sorry. And then there was a big section on me. It listed all of my aliases that I had gone through online. It listed my home address. It listed my phone number. It contained information on my family. 68 pages contained screenshots of my social media posts, conversations, etc. Many things that I had said had been twisted and taken out of context. I was purposely defamed on this site. Some creepy stalker had spent a great amount of time publishing everything about me. Somebody was extremely pissed off at me and wanted to ruin my life. I felt frightened for my life.
Yeah, I believe the thread is up to now about 1,300 pages.
This is a while back.
It's a really long thread. Suddenly, my computer's screen began to wobble and shake. Oh, Hacker Man is here. It had caught a virus. This is how computers work, right? Then it froze.
Wobbles and shakes. Virus incoming.
And then a big skull and crossbones appeared on my computer. The hacker said, "You need to send me 12 bitcoins." You'll never see.
Abort program, then abort yourself. Oh my God.
And then it froze, making a high-pitched squealing noise. I repeatedly pushed the power button, trying to turn it off. Like a chain reaction, the virus extended into the network of computers at my company. Computers in cubicles across the office began to make the same high-pitched noise. The office lights began to flicker. Some of the insurance agents started swearing. What the hell is going on? One agent swore loud from his office, chattering in
Gibson.
They're in the mainframe. Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Inoculate against the viruses. Inoculate. Give me my illuminated keyboard and my skateboard. I'm going to stop this virus.
We need Jason Bourne.
You've got to physically unplug the mainframe, but that's in the server room. No one can get in the server room. We'll get him in there.
I'm pretty sure my mom could write a better, like, hacker sci-fi fan fiction than this.
The lights, why are the lights flickering?
Chattering and clamor began to fill the work area. I slid down in my chair, embarrassed. I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard I'm crying. I felt so stupid for clicking on that link. Further, I was upset about all of my information being published on a very horrible site.
The only moment of self-reflection in the entire book is that he clicked on a link containing death threats from a guy named Chaz.
And then Chaz hacked into the electric company.
The building began to shake. The foundation was cracking. These hackers were pretty good. Oh my God. They must have Viggo Mortensen helping them out. Or was it? No, it was Hugh Jackman, right? In Swordfish with his like 37 monitors and one keyboard.
I don't know.
Oh God. I gotta stop. Is this the Die Hard 4 script? Yes. Justin Long is a Kiwi. He's doing this all from his phone. The harassment wasn't just against me. It was against all members of my family. Enjoying her night at her house, my mother sat watching a movie. Her phone suddenly rang. She answered it, and there was dead silence. "Hello?" my mother questioned, but the line was silent. Thinking nothing of it, my mother hung up. I texted her, "Hang up the phone and get out. He's already in the house." No, I'm just sorry.
The hack is coming from inside the computer, inside the orchard.
Inside the computer. The computer was hacking itself. Seconds later, the phone rang again. "Hello?" my mother answered. Again, there was just silence. Just as my mother hung up, the phone rang for a third time. "Stop!" my mother said irritatedly into the phone. Deep laughter came from the other line. Suddenly, heavy breathing started.
It's disgusting.
The caller began to exhale and inhale very slowly in a menacing way. Why is he against people with mesothelioma? And by the way, if you or a loved one has been affected by mesothelioma, you may be entitled to financial compensation.
Click on the link to have your lights hacked.
Click on the link that says Chaz is going to murder you. My mother hung up and then the phone rang again. My mother grabbed the phone and threw it against the wall. It's the phone that's doing it.
Chaz in my phone? It's more likely than you think.
She started crying, terrified by whoever the harasser was. The sick thing about this situation was that my mother had not done anything to these mentally ill people. So now Russell's opposed to the mentally ill. These animals were coming after my family solely because they were related to me. Oh. Oh my God.
Other bizarre incidents followed. My sister had just finished up her college class for the day and made her way to her car parked in the campus parking lot. A group of people began to follow her. "Hey!" one of the group members shouted at my sister as she was getting into her car. "You're the sister of Russell Greer, aren't you?" "So?" my sister replied. "So he's a loser," the group leader retorted. "He's suing Taylor Swift because she wouldn't do his terrible music." True, that is true. "Whatever, guys," my sister said in an annoyed tone. The irony was that my sister did not support me suing Taylor Swift, and these losers had some nerve to harass her for something she didn't agree with. If I was there, a few of those losers would have ended up in the emergency room after they got their having got their heads bashed in by me and my friend Horatio, who I've now teamed up with.
He admits that he has to go to the gym to bulk up and teach himself to fight. He's going to take on a group of people in single combat.
Sure, my face is paralyzed, but my fists aren't.
Oh, that's a good line. I'm with it. He's winning me over now.
But I wasn't there, so the group rushed my sister's car, surrounding it.
If only I'd been there. These hands. These hands. Oh. Swiftly, my sister locked her car doors and started the engine. The group began banging on her car windows and tried opening the doors. Her car lurched forward, honking at the insane group of weirdos. One of the attackers pulled out something from a bag, wearing gloves, and threw it on the windshield of my sister's car. It was human feces, and it smeared the windshield as the window wipers tried cleaning it off. But the wipers only made the mess worse. My sister began sobbing as she drove away with limited driving visibility. This situation was becoming insane. That's what I did in college. How often did you do that, by the way? Sit around with a group of your best bros, holding bags of feces and gloves, and just waiting for Taylor Swift's sister to walk out so you could Antifa the heck out of her car.
Oh, I went to a women's college, so we would sit by. There was an area called the Well where we would all smoke cigarettes because it was the only smoking area. But it was good. The well was there because then we could poop into bags discreetly. Somehow, these idiots had infiltrated every aspect of my life. They knew about my family and me. The weirdos even got a hold of my twin sister, whom I was separated at birth from, and whom I had never really talked to. Oh, by the way, I feel the need to cut back and say that the poop in the bag thing was one of a few sections of the book that Russell later admits he made up.
Oh, no.
Believe it or not. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry if that destroys the illusion for anybody, but her sister did not have human... People aren't just sitting around on Russell's college shitting in bags.
God dang it.
Waiting to throw it.
With that out there, the whole credibility of the book is in question.
Oh, well, things are about to get worse for some characters in this. I later found out that these trolls had got to a girl I was interested in, and the girl ended up committing suicide because of the taunting from the trolls.
That's what happened to Katy Perry.
No, that was the girl named Bailey. I realize that you're making a joke, but this is the Bailey girl that we talked about earlier, which that is totally not true. And
right.
Bailey's friends and family even told her, hey, this had nothing to do with this. Please don't put her in the book. And Russell cited Utah Code line 1236 for 2069. I'm gonna do it anyway. Standard. I couldn't believe what was going on. All of this was happening because I spoke the truth of a world-famous celebrity did to me. I felt like a quasi-martyr who was risking death for speaking the truth.
You know what's worse than stalking someone?
What?
Stalking the memory of their dead self. Like, Bailey will never escape the fact that Russell Greer is interested in her to the point where he would manifest a fake suicide reason related to him. Like, that'll be there forever. She can't get away from that. That's pretty bad.
That's
like
awful.
If she didn't already kill herself, she would, knowing like that would drive someone to suicide, I would think. God. Oh. That's taking something away from someone that they can't ever get back.
Yeah. So if you ever feel bad about making fun of Russell, just remember that he co-opted someone's actual suicide, somebody who actually killed themselves, to make his narrative sound a little bit better. And it still sounded like shit. So way to go.
After my sister was attacked, I filed police reports, determined to stop the madness. Oh, did you? We might want to look for those.
Oh, I'd love to.
Mr. Greer, the investigating officer, spoke to me over the phone. We'll do our best to track these people down, but are you sure these people aren't just fooling around with you? Maybe acquaintances or something? I was appalled that an officer investigating a criminal complaint would even make such a statement. Well, he's clearly just never talked to officers investigating criminal complaints. Sir, I said as I tried maintaining my composure, they threw poop on my sister's car. They've put my information online and have said false things about me. Does that sound like fun and games to you? I want criminal charges pressed against these people.
Need payment.
Like I said, buddy, we'll do our best, but based on the vague information we have, we can't do much. Just look for the college students with the poop bags. The officer explained. I felt sick to my stomach. The law had let me down. While I could hold my own and wasn't scared of a fight, I grew fearful for my family's safety, as did they. Ooh.
My parents sat down with me at their home when I visited them, and they held each other's hands as they spoke to me. Russell, your rhetoric has attracted the worst of the worst.
That's
my
definitely
mother
the
told me.
sentence that they said. That's definitely how she worded that sentence.
Russell did not get invited to his sister's wedding. So I imagine that Taylor Swift has really driven a wedge between Russell and his family members. I like to imagine that when he goes home, because he didn't post for a while over Thanksgiving, when he goes home and visits his family, they have rules. They're like, you can stay here and you can hang out with us and have dinner, but Facebook or Taylor Swift.
And no rhetoric from you. No rhetoric from you at all, Russell.
As soon as we hear the word plights, you're going outside. Like the dog. I'm asking you, please drop this. We're getting dragged into this situation. I felt so terrible that my family had got dragged into this, but I couldn't back down now, especially with the rumors circulating of how I sued Taylor Swift. More importantly, I couldn't allow Taylor Swift to get away without any punishment for her reckless use of publicity.
What rumors circulating of how you sued Taylor Swift? You did sue Taylor Swift.
Yeah, that is a verifiable fact.
I love you guys so much, but please understand, my life has been destroyed by Taylor.
Nick, what do you do if your kid grows up and does something like this?
I don't.
Like, serious question. If one of your kids grew up to be not Russell Greer, but a Russell Greer XB, what would you do?
I don't know. Actually, so weird that you're asking me this question because, and this is not a shameless plug. I mean, it kind of is, but it wasn't intended to be. On Friday, I'm having a Chad Dad stream with Larry and Doug Tinapel. Anyway, and I was gonna ask them a question very similar, like, cause I think the last stream we did, someone asked it, like, well, what happens if your kid is gay and stuff like that? But it's like, what happens if your kid is just stupid, like just does something so absurdly dumb? Like, how do you fix that? How do you fix
I mean,
this?
maybe this is just the New York liberal in me, but I think being Russell's a little worse than being gay.
Oh yeah, no. It's absolutely worse than being gay, and I think all of my panelists would agree with that very much. But it's because like this is, I mean, this is something. This is something. Like how do you stop your kid from completely screwing up everything with a weird decision? Like, what are the warning signs? How do you do it? I legit was going to ask that, and maybe I'll just ask it in the context specifically of Russell Greer, because I don't know what you do. They've got older kids than I do. That's why I was going to ask them. My oldest
I sure don't know.
Yeah, my oldest is 11, so it's like, you know, I don't want him to do anything like that.
But yeah, I'm sure Russell's parents didn't either. But I mean, what can you do at that point? There's nothing. He's an adult.
Put him in a meat grinder? What?
It's a 1,000-month abortion.
Russell, go stand in the woods near LA and wait for lightning. Are wildfire jokes too soon? Like, I don't know what the time frame is on that.
There's one every year. There's no too soon.
Wait, are you saying these happen all the time? It's weird.
That California catches on fire? Yeah. Where were we?
Wait. My life has been destroyed by Taylor. I'm in an emotional prison cell because of her shafting me. No, we know where the shafting was supposed to go.
You were also in a literal prison cell.
You're in a literal prison cell for allegedly publishing the names of your classmates on a kill list on a bathroom wall, you weirdo.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. Not allegedly. He did do that. This is me saying that. He did do that.
And the false narrative she portrayed of me, I explained. I have to stand up to her. At what cost, son? My dad asked. At what cost are you willing to try to fight her? I feel like this is turning inspirational, though. Even if what you say about her is true, she has millions of dollars in the bank to silence you. She's hired the best lawyer in the entire state who's going to eat you alive at trial. How much are you willing to lose?
Everything, I replied. I'm willing to use everything to bring Taylor Swift to justice because I've already lost everything. Taylor meant everything to me, and I haven't been the same since. My parents and I couldn't agree to disagree about the law. Wait, my parents and I couldn't agree to disagree about the lawsuit. Isn't that literally what you're saying?
I disagree. We're gonna agree.
Sit the fuck down, Russell. We are gonna sit here until we agree on this.
Till one of us is dead.
Oh. They, like everyone else, thought it was nonsensical. They hadn't found the research I had found. A Gandhi quote came to mind that lifted me up. Speak your mind, even if you are in a minority of one. The truth is still the truth. Even though I was the only person in my vicinity who believed what I was saying, I knew it was the truth. Another legal professional agreed with me, even though I didn't know him personally. Besides the law review, my heart felt wronged. The facts pointed to wrongdoing by Taylor. I wasn't going to lie to myself.
A week before the trial, the harassment grew even worse. Being the klutz that I was, a little physical comedy to lighten things up, I decided to move into a house that was nowhere near any public transportation. Whoops.
How's that being a klutz?
I was just walking down the sidewalk and stumbled into a rental. What is it? In fact, the closest public transit was a mile away. Each morning, I would wake up at 5 a.m., shower, and then make my 30-minute walk to the metro train. 30 minutes to walk a mile, Russ? That's a long time.
Oh, wait, to walk a mile, that is a damn long time.
That's a long time. The really fat kids took 30 minutes to walk a mile when I was in, like, junior high.
I mean, but I imagine he wouldn't be attempting to run to work.
Oh, they weren't either attempting to run anything. Like that, they walked it in less than 30 minutes. I mean, we're talking they walked. That's a okay. I would challenge you to walk a mile slower than like 18, 19 minutes. That's a long time.
My foot is broken, but
You could crawl it.
You think so?
I think so. And that's a long time. Like a 19-minute mile. That's a slow. Or that's not fast, but it's not slow, but it's not fast in any stretch of the word. Okay, sorry. To the metro train, which is referred to as tracks. Since it was the start of December, winter had fallen upon the city. Sorry, he got real nice there. Winter had fallen upon the city, which made my 30-minute walk even worse, as I had to trudge through snow and manage my balance walking across icy surfaces.
During one of my 30-minute walks to the tracks, man, I really hate that is capitalized in the last paragraph and not here. Oh man, maybe it's just my foot, but every time there's a grammatical error, my broken toe tingles. I heard tree branches breaking about 75 feet behind me. That's very specific. Quickly, I turned and a dark hooded figure was following. Oh wait, Nick, my favorite game again. Should you call the police?
Why is a dark hooded figure breaking the tree branches?
He's just there to demonstrate his power. Like, it wasn't an accident. He cracked one in front of Russell's face.
He's just ripping them off the trees left and right. Oh, my God.
There was no illusion in my mind, even though it was very early and I was tired. Many mornings, I clearly saw a person following me. Due to the morning darkness, I couldn't distinguish the person's age or race, but the figure stopped and stared at me when I turned around. Panic overcame me, and I quickly trudged through the snow, frightened. It was highly doubtful that he or she was also heading to the tracks. Why is that highly doubtful? It's a public transportation service. I don't walk down the street and be like, oh, there's somebody going towards the metro. They're probably not getting on the metro. They're probably going to rape murder me.
This guy is not afraid to fight a group of college students. But
yeah, what are you so scared of, Russ?
You're scared of one weirdo following you 75 feet back, breaking tree branches everywhere.
Oh boy. After all, my address had been posted on that weird site. Somebody must have posted my 30-minute walk routine as well. I was being stalked. But who would stalk somebody at 5 a.m.? Better question. Who would stalk somebody at all? Oh, I have one person in mind, Russell.
I know. We all know someone. That one guy. He's crazy. On another morning, as I was walking to tracks, which my walks soon became jogs because I wanted to stay warm in the 20-degree weather. Ha, you're wrong. He was running.
You got me.
No, Russ got you.
Cuck-mated.
And because I had to remain untouchable for the people following me because they couldn't keep up with his awkward, square-faced run. A car slowly followed me. I turned and it was a smaller 4-door car. Again, my descriptions with cars aren't the best. Well, the black Jetta was actually pretty good, Russ. It wasn't a police car, that was for sure. The car then pulled ahead of me and parked a block up. The car then idling, sitting, watching me. It dimmed its headlights, but left the engine running. Smoke blew out of the exhaust pipe. Knowing that this could potentially be another stalker, I began to jog quicker. I passed the car and kept jogging. You know what you do in a situation where you think a car is stalking you and it drives up ahead and stops? What you do is you actually proceed on and go up near the car. That's the safe thing to do. So
go near the car? I always heard make 3 lefts.
But I mean, that's what he does here. He says the car passes him, idles, turns off its headlights, and sits there. And he's like, this could be potentially another stalker. I began to jog quicker. I passed the car and kept jogging. So he ran right next to the murder wagon.
I bet it's Horatio again. Whew, out of the corner of my eye, the headlights turned back on and the car began to move forward towards me. I quickly left the sidewalk and began to cut across Murray Park, a public park that contained a vast expanse of trees and open fields. My shoes plopped through the snow and my feet became cold as I was only wearing leather dress shoes. Leather dress shoes.
Because I was only wearing leather, also dress shoes. I think that's how we have to wear.
Leather dress shoes, white dress.
He's in a gimp outfit with dress shoes. That's his work attire.
A braid, drool coming down my face. Looking back, the car had stopped. Whoever it was watching me. Eventually, I reached the other side of the park and began running on the sidewalk of another street, losing sight of the creepy car.
How do ball gags work on Russell?
They don't.
I don't have to tell you to open up. I just have to strap this on. As 5 a.m. rolled around again the next day, I armed myself with rocks, tucking them in my own coat pocket. Nearing Murray Park in my jog, a loud beeping car noise approached in the distance. It was like somebody was holding down their car horn as they approached. Beep. I began to jog faster, but slipped on black ice, falling down. As my head hit the icy sidewalk, my glasses fell off. Bright lights sped down the street, horn blaring, as the car approached me. Weakly, I picked up and put on my glasses, which were now impossible to see out of because cold had fogged my lenses up. That's not how it works. Like, your lenses don't fog up from being off your face, Russell. They fog from the moisture in your breath going up. So I put my glasses in a coat pocket.
I'm having a really hard time following this. Is he on the road or on the sidewalk?
I don't know. Like, I don't know what to do.
The next paragraph starts with fearing for my life, which I imagine if he was walking to the tracks, he would be walking on the sidewalk. So what happened so far is a car beeped and then an asshole fell.
Yeah. And
I don't know why that would cause you to fear for your life.
Yeah, and someone's at John Russell. Why does it have to be black ice? Racist? I think so. That's a good question. White ice hurts people too at the same rates as black ice. This is ridiculous. Absolutely.
You ever heard that? Have you ever heard that was it a radio interview or something where the woman calls and she's got a very thick Indian accent and she starts talking. She's like, "I'm wondering why I should avoid black guys." And they're like, "Sorry, what? Black guys? We're talking about black guys and how they're dangerous." They think that she's saying black guys, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" Blah blah blah. And she's like, "No, black ice on the road."
Gosh. Oh, I hope that was like a BET call-in show too. That'd be.
It was something. Oh, fearing for my life since the car seemed to be headed right at me, and since this wasn't the first time this had happened, I pulled out my rock, which was more like a stone. What? What? And tossed it at the car. For all I knew, someone in the car could have shot me. Though my eyesight was limited without my glasses, the stone smashed into the windshield of the vehicle. All at once, the blaring of the horn stopped and the car came to a halt. The driver began swearing at me and the car veered off the road and sped forward with me. Yeah, I would too. If you
Just throw a rock at some random car.
You threw a rock at my windshield. Fuck you, Russ.
Oh my god. I just want to point out, JC3 says, "I'm behind on the stream, but I have to point out, I'm 280 pounds, and walking the mile to pick my kid up from school takes me 15 minutes, actively trying to go slower than I typically would." So yeah,
wow.
I'm telling you, a 30-minute mile is like you get bored. You have to stop at a convenience store to do that.
That's crazy. I had no idea that took that long.
Okay, so here we've got 2 chats from Landanime as well. First he says, "Let me know how you like Takunomi on the Weeb stream." And then he also says, "Holy shite, Sriracha's Twitter has love live in my top love live in my top 3." So you guys have some similar anime tastes, apparently.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Okay. Making a mad dash across Murray Park, the car drove up over the sidewalk and chased after me. The wheels of the car slid and spun in the snow, allowing me to maintain a healthy lead as it stalked me. This guy takes 30 minutes to walk a mile, but he can't get caught by a car.
But Russell can put it in gear when he needs to.
Eventually, I ran through a brick path entrance that had high walls that separated the park from the nearby neighborhood. Thankfully, the path was too narrow for the car to fit through. As I ran away, I could hear the creeper car on the other side of the wall, squealing its tires, stuck in the snow. Sensing that I had a death wish on me, I took Uber to work for many days after that incident. I felt all alone, since the police and my family weren't supporting me. Was this how all truth speakers felt? What, did you call the police again, Russ, and say every day I walk to tracks, I'm stalked and then chased through a public park off the road by a car?
All around me are familiar faces. What else? I just drooled all over my chest.
Oh.
Sitting in the cafe with Ken, we talked about the harassment that had been perpetrated against me. Russ, if the police aren't helping you, I don't really know what to say. Ken was at a loss for words. It's disgusting what these people are doing.
I'll do the lips one more time.
Yeah, do the lips.
And it's not just in Utah, I explained to my lawyer friend. Some of the people on that site live in different countries. When I came out about this, I was trying to push for social justice. I was trying to ring light what a person who hides behind a mask did to me. A lot of people need to know about this.
That's the thing about rhetoric. It's going to piss a few people off, Ken told me. There's a price when it comes to speech, no matter how true it may be.
While Ken was speaking, I noticed a man taking pictures of us. The man quickly left. I stood up and dashed after the man. For weeks, he had been putting videos and pictures of me on that troll site. I was going to put a stop to the harassment. By the time I got outside, the man had disappeared. Ken followed after me. It was one of those Kiwi guys, Ken. I said with it was one of those Kiwi guys, Ken. I said with clenched teeth. Upset.
It was me. That was me. I was the guy taking pictures of. How do they keep finding you? Ken bewilderedly asked.
I had no idea, I responded, shaking with frustration.
Oh, this is the saddest part in the whole book. Everybody get your F keys ready. Around 9 p.m. What's up?
Let me finish out this paragraph because the next one has mean words in it.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Around 9 p.m. that night, as Ken was finishing up work, a group of masked people confronted him in the underground parking lot of the building that he worked in. They held bottles of fluids in their hands.
You must be the law guy who's been giving advice to legal advice to shit lips. One of the masked people shouted. Ken, familiar with Spanish involving my family, ran to his car, prepared to escape. As Perpen started the car, he realized his passenger window was down. Well, Ken, that was pretty stupid of you to leave your passenger. Who does that? Not only just because it's December, but that's a recipe for getting your car stolen, Ken. Before Ken could roll the window up, one of the bottle of fluids was lit up with flames with a match. It was a Molotov cocktail.
Oh, we have Russian assailants this time. They have found,
Oh, yeah.
We have got Ken. We will get him. No worries.
You must be the law guy who gives legal advice to shit lips.
Who am giving.
You must be the guy that gives law advice to that putzna shit lip.
We will put you in pierogi, okay?
I think that's Polish, Nick.
Well, they took over Poland for a while.
Oh, no. The flaming bottle was then thrown into the car through the open window. Instantly, the bottle exploded, consuming Ken and his car with flames. Like cowards, the masked men scampered off.
Yeah, they should have stayed there and confronted burning to death Ken.
Everybody throw an F in that chat room for Ken.
Yeah. Definitely. F for Ken. After 6 hours of surgery, only 6 Molotov cocktails is 6 hours is fine. Ken
Utah
rested.
is actually the skin graft capital of the world. Did you know that?
But it was emergency skin grafts, so it wasn't, like they had to get it from different ethnicities. So now Ken is a patchwork monster.
Ken looks like Sally from A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, Ken rested in the trauma ward of the hospital. Bandages and casts enveloped his entire body. I stood beside his wife, who held their young son. Sorry.
Oh, Ken? Ken is a child. I didn't know that.
He has a wife and a young son. It was new. They were just starting out. Isn't Ken, like, aged? Like 40s?
I thought he worked for the Attorney General. I don't know.
I felt terrible. I had finally realized the bounds of my rhetoric. Free speech isn't free. There are consequences that come with it. Freedom from speech isn't freedom from consequences.
I was going to say, it's always like what the toucans on Twitter are saying. Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of keeping your skin.
Freedom of speech isn't freedom from Molotov cocktails. This is all my fault, Ken, I sobbed. Ken shook his head, not wanting me to blame myself. Ken is the best friend anyone could possibly have. I don't even care, Russ. You got hurt for being my friend and for listening to me when nobody else would. I didn't know if the police would ever catch these people, but I did know that I had to win this trial. If I didn't win, everybody who got hurt because of my beliefs would have been hurt in vain. I could never forgive myself if that happened. With determination, I decided that it was time to go to the news. For Ken. For Ken.
We got to do it for Ken. We got to do it for the Max dying of cancer, whose last wish was a Facebook shout out from Taylor Swift. We got to do it for Ken, who almost died in a Molotov cocktail accident. We got to do it for his sister, who got salmonella poisoning from, or E. coli, I guess it would be, from poop on her winch. December 7th, the eve of the Taylor Swift trial came. Passionately, I sent detailed emails to the 3 news stations in Utah: KSL, ABC Channel 2, and Fox 13. In the emails, I thoroughly explained everything that has already been told in this book. I explained how the lawsuit originally started out as a way to bring attention to an unfair situation. I explained vicarious liability. I explained the sweat and effort that I had to put into it for Taylor Swift. I explained how much Taylor meant to me. I explained my disability. I explained how Taylor slandered me. I explained the duties that Taylor owed to me with disclaimers. I explained the research that I found. Patiently. So just brutal paragraph. Patiently, I waited for the news to broadcast this incredible true story. Remember, guys, you are listening to an incredibly true story. It would be only a matter of time until there would be swift backlash against Taylor Swift for what she did to a handicapped person. Or so I thought.
Or so the plaintiff thought.
Dun, dun.
Imagine being the intern at all of these news stations who has to read the emails and has to, like, read some idiot's mis-explanation of vicarious liability. And they're like, what does this even mean? Like, I just get sandwiches. And they're like, shut up, Kevin. Oh, God.
I imagine some unpaid intern got a hearty lol out of this.
Jeez. As John Smith sat in his office, working on a legal document and banging his hot secretary, he received a phone call. Casually, he hit the speaker button on his phone as he continued to type away. Hello?
Catherine, put clothes on.
Hello? John answered. Hi, Mr. Smith. This is Kevin from KSL TV. How are you? Kevin said through the speakerphone. John Smith stopped typing. Hi, John replied. How may I help you? Yeah, we were sent a tip by a Mr. Russell Greer about a trial with Tay. Kevin got cut off by John as John quickly picked up the phone. Listen here. Mr. Greer is mentally unhinged. Everything this man has claimed is false. Everything. Do not listen to or believe anything this man says. If you report this, my client and I will sue the bejesus out of your news station. Do I make myself clear, Kevin? John sternly lectured over the phone.
Guess Greg scored a season Mormon then, huh?
Gosh, I gotta ask Greg. If he's running for office, there's no way he'll come on this stream. Maybe he lost. That'd be great for us. I gotta ask him if he said we'll sue the bejesus out of you to a news station.
Oh, Nick, I would cut my pinky off Yakuza. I'd break my foot again. 30 minutes talking to Greg Skordas about this. After hanging up on KSL TV, John Smith quickly called up Taylor Swift's management team to inform them that the news was trying to cover my story. Taylor Swift does not want this being covered at all, Jay Shouties explained to John Smith. Do everything you can to quash this. Well, Jay, isn't that kind of your job?
Including
as your manager?
Killing Russell Greer.
Horatio, I've got another job for you.
Yeah. It's time to kill Russell Greer.
Molotov cocktails on the bus.
We got Gannon, now you're next.
Like cucaracha.
Get the cucaracha. Jesus.
Maria, get in the car. Spite's,
Stop selling
yes,
oranges
sir.
and get in. Oh my god. Where are we?
Draw your eyebrows on. We gotta go here.
Just do it on the way.
No, we don't have time to stop for quesadilla. No,
Yes.
fucking racist.
Yeah, this is kidding. Well, it's only, we're not racist against all Hispanics, only ones that drive black Jettas and try to fake murder Russell Greer.
That's true. And ones that have fake guns and
we're helping. This is a true story. We're developing out the characters for Russell.
Yeah. Viva la raza. Yes, sir, said John Smith, gritting his teeth. And so John Smith spent all of that day calling all of the major news networks in Utah and across the country, talking news to news directors and legal advisors, telling them about how the frivolous crackpot that I supposedly was.
Despite John's best efforts to keep the truth quiet, though, Fox 13 News blasted the story on its 5 p.m. broadcast. Utah man sues Taylor Swift after agents stonewall, in quotes, efforts to make music with her.
And then we have a clickable HTML link in an ebook. I would like to mention that this book is available in print version, and it does come along with these clickable citations.
Oh, they actually do have it in quotes. Why? They have Stonewall in quotes. Oh.
Yep.
They must be quoting Greer. Like, that must be what they're doing there, I'm guessing. I don't understand.
I think.
They're not using Stonewall, like, ironically.
Come on, Nick, final stretch.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I got distracted by a clickable link. What happened there? That was weird. Oh, there's a... Maddox is apparently hosting a titty streamer on Twitch. Good job, Maddox.
Oh, cool. Which one?
I don't know. What's her name?
Did bathtub farts again?
No. I Want My Lauren. I don't know who this is.
Oh, she's been on his show. She's not our queen. Our queen is the Camilla, whatever her name, Camilla Paiva, I think he had on, who makes the millennial elevator music. I think it called it.
Oh, is this the fitness chick? The Lauren girl that he had on?
I don't watch Madcast Media.
Well, you said he had her on.
Yeah, I know nothing about her other than she was on the program.
I was relying on your representations.
Oh, well, fire up that vicarious liability.
Okay, sorry. I got distracted. Clickable links, man, they ruin you. Chaz is coming after me. Russell had the chance to get back at Chaz by putting a clickable link to a virus hacker site into his ebook.
Holy shit.
Is what read on the site's breaking news headline. I became overjoyed. It was working. They're covering you, Ken called me from his hospital bed, but my heart stopped. So did Ken's. No, that's a lie. The article completely trashed me and made me sound like a crazy person. The news had omitted key terms such as vicarious liability and didn't include the precedent found in celebrity misrepresentation with products. Instead, the article claimed that I sued Taylor Swift for her to go on a date with me. It's almost
not a date.
It's almost like maybe Scortis told him what actually happened, Russ. Instead of saying quash the story, he said, yeah, go ahead and run with it. Tell him he wants a date.
Yeah, no, they called his office and they were like, is this true? And he was like, oh no, the truth is much better.
Yeah. Sit down, Kevin.
I still don't like that Jay Shouty's kind of pawned off his management duties on Greg Scortis.
Well, he knew Scortis was a better storyteller. Regardless, the truth was out there, even though you just said it was all lies. The truth was out there, and nothing John Smith could do to stop it. The article had over 1,000 shares. It's out there now, so be on your A game. The world is watching. Ken cautioned. I'll be rooting for you. Mummified Ken in the hospital bed.
Yeah, I'm imagining Ken is having his entire body wrapped in. Like, have you ever seen that episode of SpongeBob where the guy breaks both of his legs and his arms?
Yeah, he's just sitting there like this in traction, all wrapped up. Ken is now Darkman, by the way. I think this is the last paragraph? Yeah, it is. This is
yes,
all you.
It is.
You can close us out.
Oh, the next morning on December 8th, the day of the trial, the United Kingdom's Daily Mail had picked up the story. The title for their article was basically the same as Fox 13's. Utah man sues Taylor Swift after her agents stonewall his efforts to make music with her. The Daily Mail claimed that I felt I was entitled to Taylor Swift's attention. It was absurd. Other sites... Was it, though?
Other entire book literally saying I was owed that.
Other sites and syndicates began to pick up the story. And then here we have 3 consecutive footnotes. 2 of which are clickable links. But we also have a non-clickable link to a Georgia news station that apparently no longer has the... Oh, my computer doesn't even want me to click on that. Adobe PDF has actually stopped me from clicking on that link.
The comic book 2016 link, that one from Pop Culture. Why does it say comic book? Popculture.com link. He cites it as comic book. I'm going to click on it.
Go ahead.
Why does he cite it as comic book? I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry.
Upon seeing the Daily Mail had picked up the story, thus making the story international news, John Smith became livid. He thrust one more time into his secretary, Catherine, and then he picked up the phone.
The only non-burned part of John... Oh, wait, no, that's John Smith. Never mind. I thought it was Ken. I thought Ken was getting some action for a second.
I wonder, do they have that conjugal visits in the burn ward?
Yeah. It's the only unburned part of Ken's body. He received burns on over 94% of his body, and that gives you an idea of just how much man Ken is.
Luckily, the Russians knew enough to spare Ken's penis. They weren't that cruel. He began cursing and swearing and throwing documents across the room. His attempt at silencing me had failed. He grabbed the phone and frustratedly called Taylor Swift's agents. The agents and John conversed. "We've got something up our sleeves," Jay said as he thumbed through his contact book. He flipped through the many pages until he got to the label maker that had the letter B. Once on the B page, Jay slid his finger down to the contact information for Big Machine Records, Taylor Swift's record label. The agents were going to make sure that this bad publicity was drowned out for good. War had begun.
Just a reminder that in this totally true story of what actually happened, Taylor Swift's agents have to go through a Rolodex to find the phone number for Taylor Swift's record label.
Remember, Taylor Swift's management team that most likely works with Taylor Swift.
It probably talks to record label what, 4 days a week? Oh my God. Oh, we gotta flip through this book to remember the phone number that's definitely not saved in our cell phones and is not pervading our history.
What is cell phone?
Taylor Swift's management team was so into their old school Cold War murder tactics that they only used rotary phones.
And then he licked his fingers and scrolled down to the M section under the murder squad section. He was going to silence this news by hook or by crook.
Well, the murder squad has several sub entries: murder squad Mexican,
Hispanic
murder squad unidentifiable, and murder squad Russian cocktail throwers.
Hey Jay, you back again? What do you need this time, SA?
Okay, this time we will get Ken. Very good.
Maria, fire up the car. We gotta pick up the Russians.
All right, guys. I can't even. Someone in the chat a few minutes ago said, "How is this real?" I don't know.
Oh yeah, no. Anybody who thinks this is a prank or a troll or a meme, this is 100% serious, and I would not believe it if there were not court documents to prove that this is an actually thing that actually happened.
Yeah, and I have actually had an email exchange with Greg Skordas. confirmed. He confirmed this this series of events, we'll say. So.
So yeah, if that means you have to schedule another therapy appointment for this week, sorry.
Oh. Well, it's very late. We started a half hour late, and I really appreciate you allowing that and working with me to run this stream. Gosh, these are so much fun. It's stupid. And I
love this.
We've got to find something else after this. I think we've got the Chris Chan Sonichu book 1 is on the list, and doesn't Russell have another, like, a pamphlet at least about why he demands that your daughter have sex with him for $500 or whatever? What I would recommend reading if you're looking for more Greer paraphernalia would be why I'm making it legal to have sex with your 18-year-old daughter. Why I'm making it legal for your 18-year-old daughter to get in bed with a stranger for as little as $500 is a pamphlet. It's not really funny as much as it is the inane ramblings of a madman. But there's also this thing he put out called the Manifesto of the Mile High Neon, which is Russell's business plan for how he was going to run his brothel. I would highly recommend taking a gloss through that because that is just pure black tar insanity. Oh my God. We'll have to figure out like what to do. I mean, I don't know. We've just got to, like, maybe we can find prison letters from people who get let out from, like, they're going to be executed, but then you read their prison letters and they're like, oh, we can't kill this guy. He's nuts. That actually happened, by the way.
Wait, what? What happened?
Yeah, my mom was on a death row or a murder trial. She was a juror back in the 80s. And they sentenced the guy to death, and he's out. He's not only alive, he's out of prison.
God, what? Did they take away the conviction or what?
Yeah, because they read these letters he wrote, and he got a really good lawyer to argue that the letters showed that he was a crazy nut job. But they read the letters in court. He wasn't crazy. I mean, he was kind of crazy. He was trying to get to Iran to join in the Glorious Revolution. He was not Iranian, but he had converted to Islam, and it was during the Iranian Revolution or the Islamic Revolution in Iran in the early 80s. And so he murdered his McDonald's manager to try and get money to get down to Mexico to fly over to Iran because we had stop travel or whatever, travel embargo. So I had
another idea.
Yeah, what's
for
up?
A stream we could do too. Just moving past that insanity because I don't even know where to go with that one.
I don't either. But he's out. He's walking the streets. He's fine.
So he's crazy. Wait, no. So they made him insanity plea? Or
Yeah, they said he
what?
wasn't. So he was actually saved by getting stabbed by another inmate. Because then they couldn't kill him on time. He had to recover from his stab so they could kill him. And then in that time, he got a lawyer to do that. And they overturned the conviction, said he wasn't competent to stand trial. And he was a pretty old guy by that point. He's in his like 60s or maybe even close to his 70s by now. And so yeah, assuming he's still alive, he's out.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What if we just watched episodes of To Catch a Predator and made fun of pedos? Because
That'd be pretty funny, but I wonder if those would get copyright hit.
they have full episodes available because the show's so old or something.
Yeah, I'll have to check. I'll check. But that
Well,
would
this
be...
has been eye-opening.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, all right, guys. Thank you all for joining us. Tomorrow night will be something. I don't know what. Friday night will be the Chad Dad stream. Go ahead and join us for that. Bring all your dadding questions to ask me, Larry, and Doug I don't know how to pronounce his name. Doug is my dude. And then the other, there may be a fourth guest. I don't know yet. I have one confirmed, but not for this stream, who will be great. He's confirmed for a later stream, but we'll see. So anyways, thanks, guys. I'm going to blank out the screen. Make sure to follow Sriracha on Twitter for all sorts of comedy throughout your day. And
Feed pics.
Yeah, feed pics. Yes, you can get all the feet pics needs from Sriracha. And then, also check out the other shows that she does. Did you want to talk about any of those? Or
Yeah, you like the hey kid, you like the birds from Star Wars? The porgs? You want to just talk about the birds from Star Wars? Well, come over here. I got a podcast just about the birds from Star Wars for you. Nick's been on it. We got to get you on another episode.
Oh, I
want to talk more about getting birds on airplanes. The podcast is about porgs, the cute fat little birds from Star Wars. If you're into that shit, you can head on over to my Twitter. My foot hurts so bad.
Oh yeah, I hope you have that thing elevated.
I do. I'm sitting on it's on a stool.
Okay, good, because I had knee surgery a while back, and everything was fine. I had no pain, but then I did a 3-hour stream with my buddy in the room with me, and I had my knee down, and I had it elevated the entire time since my surgery. So this is like the day after, and after that 3-hour stream, I wanted to die for the next day. And I think it was because I had it down the whole time and all the blood was just like pooling in the wound. It was gross.
I'd want to die too.
But yeah. So Sriracha, her Twitter is in the description. So go ahead and follow her on there. And I think, can they find your porg chatter? I mean, you post about it. And they can find it on your Twitter bio or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely do that. Definitely watch Pork Chatter. Listen to Pork Chatter. If you can't watch it, gotta listen to Pork Chatter. Definitely do that. So yeah, and so anyways, that's it, I think, for tonight. Thanks, guys, so much. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.
Royalty free rock music.